I need that sports encyclopedia. We West Steve Kim. Got Trent in the cut.
What are you?
He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a master motivator.
I'm a master motivator. I ain't no regular ass motivator. I'm a fucking master.
Coaches tried to make practice so hard that the game was less intrusive. Like they coached you that way. Like people think, well, they were just yelling. No, they were trying to put you under stress and put you in under duress so that when you got in the game, you could mentally handle adversity.
If you go through JUCO and you make it out of JUCO, you can make it anywhere.
I respect the hell out of you to see that you're doing what you're doing and still doing what you're doing for real, the way you do it, man. From day one, you had the same enthusiasm. You keep the same enthusiasm, and it's fucking contagious.
In my opinion, I think Shedeur Sanders is the best deep ball in college football. I don't think
Can you just say something nice about Shedeur Sanders?
I love talking ball. It's nice to connect with guys that are like-minded and just are real and genuine.
And I'll proudly stand up next to you. Oh, God bless America.
You said belt to ass, T-Red. You got the belt around you.
Truth Telling Thursday. We are here, powered by BetUS, the realest show on planet Earth. So pound that like, subscribe, become a member, man. This is the realest show for a reason. Because Smitty and I can banter back and forth, still kick it, have a drink, smoke a stick. Even though he smokes his backwards, I smoke mine regular. And all you guys in a panties get in a bunch. Because a white boy and a brother can actually disagree and chill later. It's a mind-blowing concept, isn't it? Well, guess what? It's also mind-blowing that the thumbnail says what it says for a reason. Because what are we doing? Please make it make sense. I know it rhymes with hey, and say, and they, but goddamn it, it's just gay. The latest fucking example of a high-profile NFL player using their platform to, let's say, be gay. Make no mistake about it. Kalen Saunders is hosting an LGBTQ RSGL fuck whatever camp this summer, as he said the NFL should be more inviting and cater to the trans and LGBTQ communities, which allows more women to get involved in the sport. Quote, Saunders said, listen, homie, I don't know you. I just got to say, they're either paying you like they do all protesters, or you have lost your simpleton-ass mind. Straight up. I got to ask you, keep it funky. Are you a fucking groomer, homie? Are you a groomer? I got to ask you. Because there ain't no way a big 6'5", 330-pound cat that plays in the NFL, a gladiator sport, thinking that it's all-inclusive now and everybody can play. This is why the Pro Bowl is flag football, and this is why you're changing this and trying to become flag football. This is why you changed the rules. This is why everything is. It's not all-inclusive, homie. I don't know what and who told you it is, but why would you want this to be your mission? Are you coming out? I'd respect it if you just said, I'm coming out. Just say that, homie. I don't care about the backlash I get for this show, but this is a joke. And we have to ask ourselves why. What are we doing this for? Meanwhile, in other gay NFL news, Eagles O-linemen Landon Dickerson and Jordan Mailata went to Hawaii together on a vacation and took a rather interesting photo. And listen, I don't care if y'all are trolling or whatever y'all call it or fucking with people. But the image itself is disturbing simply because the message it sends to kids watching you. Are y'all groomers too? I got to holler at some Usos, man, because what the fuck are we doing here, man? I seriously, what the fuck's up with that cradle cater position, homie? If you're fucking around, it's cool. We all fuck around, but don't come out and say it, homie. I with the troll shit and being this fucking zesty, whatever y'all call it, it's some bullshit, man. I'm gonna be honest. It's some bullshit. In more serious news, a young man lost his life yesterday at a fucking track meet of all places. Austin Metcalf was stabbed in the heart over a dispute regarding positioning in a race from reports and died in his twin brother's arms who was trying to stop the bleeding. This country is in disarray, man. Let me just tell you. And this shit happened. This shit has been happening with our youth since I was a kid, just contrary to everyone's belief. So everyone out there that wants to go turn this into a race baiting contest and white and black and all this, it's been happening since I was a little kid, just FYI. But are we going to have a riot today to show how pissed off we are over losing this kid's life? White folks, if the roles were reversed, would this be a bigger news? If a brother was killed by a white boy is what I mean. And I ask this because of this reason. Don't sit here and say, oh, my God. No, both parties should be able to talk about all this shit equally because I'm asking you this. A civil war is on its way. I'm just going to tell you, it's not too far fucking away. This country is crumbling inside. I'm just telling you right now. What we all used to think was the best country in the world is fucking far from it right now. I'm just telling you straight out. And I don't give a fuck about all this other bullshit political ploys and all this other shit. Babies are dying, black and white, every single day, and sometimes we're killing each other. It's a fucking shame that we're sitting here having to fucking talk about it on a football, sports, real talk show, when the tragedy of the matter is it was a young man who lost his life at a fucking track meet of all places, people. Make it make sense, but what do I know, man? Fucking shameful, man. Shameful. Let's bring our main man in, my co-host extraordinaire. Also a real one, so everyone out there can understand something. Because he wouldn't do the show every single day if he wasn't dealing with your fucking shitbird asses every single day in the comment sections. My main man, my Far East Sider, 317, LeBron hairline having, Lamar Jackson loving, and AR5 defending. Fox Sports very own, Big Smitty.
What's going on, y'all? What's going on? I didn't feel like dancing coming on this morning. After that serious topic, it didn't feel right to come on here dancing and moving around, spinning around.
I like serious Smitty sometimes.
You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to that young man who lost his life over nothing. I read that they were just arguing over someone sitting in the wrong spot or something as petty as that.
I heard it was a position, homie.
A position or whatever, and you stabbed them for it. That's ridiculous. I'm a guy that in a lot of areas, a lot of situations, I preach for like second opportunities. In this situation, hell no, not at all. Like he got to get life. He got to get life in prison. Whatever they decide, it is what it is. Like whatever they decide for him, you know what I'm saying? Like that's insane. We're seeing so many of these young kids, I call them kids, but I guess they're young men if you're 17, whatever, but kids is the ones who are committing the violence. I'm seeing it back home in Indianapolis more now than ever before. Every time I hear about a shooting, or a stabbing or a killing, whatever, it happens to be a young person. I lost my cousin last year. He got shot in his head last year. I didn't talk about it a lot, but I think I missed maybe a show last year. I had to go to Indy for a funeral because my little cousin got shot in the head, who's 17, over like a stupid argument. I think my cousin was, he a little bit in the streets or whatever. I'm not saying he was 100% just perfect, but he was selling a dog or something, buying a pit bull, and it had a bad exchange and got shot in his head. So it's just like, you see way too much of this. To your point, like this is something that's been going on for a while, but I guess for me, I'm just seeing it more or hearing about it more now, more than anything. Probably just with social media and stuff like that. But It's just ridiculous. So yeah, whatever happens to that guy, I guess his name was Carmelo Anthony with the K. He deserves any punishment they deserve to give him.
No, I don't think it's Carmelo Anthony, but it's Carmelo something. Yeah.
No, I think it is Carmelo Anthony. It is.
Really?
His name is Carmelo Anthony with a K, literally.
Wow.
Yeah, that's his actual name.
I'm sure Carmelo Anthony, the real Carmelo Anthony, or the basketball player, not the real one.
Yeah.
I'm sure he'll be getting tagged quite a bit today on social media. You know how that goes. Here's the issue, man, I have. Like, this is the problem that I think you alluded to, which is a lot of folks won't talk about on the show. This was crazy on any other show today. You probably won't hear a real talk, back and forth banter. But, like, this is why the white coach and myself used to talk to the black kids that I coached the way I did. For this not to happen, whether it was for the lack of parents in the home or I knew who their parents were. A lot of the kids I recruited, just so we're clear, Malik Henry and other guys like this that I had play for me, I knew their upbringing. I knew their parents. There was a reason I was the way I was, because I knew what the fuck they had back at home.
Right.
And you can take how you want to take it out there in the audience, what I just said. But the truth of the matter is, when they're with us for 17 to 20 hours a day, you in essence are some sort of family member now, parents or mentor. I don't care what you want to say. We actually are around your kids more than you are yourselves, parents. And that's why I think coaching is so underrated and underpaid. We could talk about the worth and the earn of Deion Sanders. That's one of the main reasons I say he's worth it, because of what he spits to those babies and kids every day that you and I don't see. Because I know for a fact Deion's preaching the very essence of what I'm discussing right now. So, like, that's one reason I believe he is worth the money. That's why I believe a lot of these cats out here are underpaid. I don't know if Nick Saban was paid enough. I really don't. If we're going to talk about entertainment value and what he brings to a school, then Nick Saban should have got paid $100 million a year for what kids he helped develop and move on and make generational wealth for. How many first rounders and NFL players, and then how many players that didn't make the NFL that got degrees and went on and became CEOs or CFOs under Nick Saban's tutelage? That's the same thing that I try to tell my kids every single day. And this is the worst part of it. Like, because this could have been one of my former players that killed this kid.
Yep.
And it could have been one of my former players that got killed by this kid.
Either way.
And that's the problem, dog. Like, that's the problem. That it ain't a black and white thing that I want to discuss today. I wanted to bring all that up because this is the fucking tragedy that's happening inside of America's walls today. And I don't know if it's because of social media, like you said. I do remember having this happen. I've seen this happen at football games when I was a kid. This ain't the first time that some sort of tragedy has happened at a fucking sporting event over whether it was a girl or a boy. But I'm going to be honest, though. This is why yesterday I was kind of discussing this whole thing when we talked about respect with these the younger generation and the older ones. This is a perfect, like, transition, in my opinion, Smitty, to bring it up again, not to rub it in no one's face or nothing. I just, you could discuss it and tell me I'm wrong, and that's fine. But, like, this is that conversation where I could see it in my mind, Smitty, like, move. Nah, motherfucker, I'm a grown-ass man. You ain't telling me where to move. See, that's the I can see that happening as a perfect example of these kids not being told and not understanding the fact of respect and respecting not only your own peers, your age, but when you lack or have therefore lack of respect for elders, you don't respect yourself or your own peers. And I could guarantee there was an argument about, nah, my dick's bigger than yours. I'm a grown-ass man. Fuck all that. You ain't telling me where to move. And then now in this era, and what magnifies this, Smitty? Unfortunately, the young kids, the babies, white and black, are seeing social media divide. And now you got a white boy and a brother talking to each other, and instead of being able to coexist, now they got beef automatically because of either a skin color or what they see on social media, that whites are the enemy or blacks are the enemy. And you got two young kids out here who are out here fucking arguing over some bullshit, simple respect things about our spaces, where our space is. And now there's a beef and there's a stabbing. And I got to just be real. And this happens for everybody. White boys that have guns in their cars to go hunting. Brother, this kid, I don't know if he brought it or not, but a knife to a track meet tells me something. Like,
right.
Why?
Why do you even have it? Right.
Why are you allowed to even have it? And what the fuck have you been taught your whole life is my question. And it goes both sides. I'm just bringing that up, but like.
At a track meet.
Why? I mean, and it's like a kitchen knife.
Yeah, that's just weird. Like, you know,
what
that's
doing?
what I'm saying. It's sign this kid was already on some BS anyway. Like he already had. Who knows? I'm sure we dove deep and looked at his history. I wouldn't be surprised if he has prior charges and incidents. Because, like you said, you don't just bring a kitchen knife to a track meet. I mean, it's almost feel like you were going there with the intentions of something happening. You know, so. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's crazy. And my last thing, to your point about social media, I also feel like things like this happens because kids are so worried about being embarrassed on social media and like word getting out that so-and-so got punked at the track meet. He talk all that tough stuff, but didn't do nothing when they was there. And the way that social media works, you know, stuff goes viral and retweets, this, that, and the third. So I also believe that's an extra element on top of everything that you put together and threw out there as well.
I can't believe social media has really like trumped life. And what I'm saying is
it's more important.
These cats rather have videos out there of them and their so-called ops having a beef in the hood or in the street or on a video and putting it out there and walking around like these motherfuckers are really like today, like what, I don't know the kid, I never heard a song or nothing, but I think he's passed away. The kid that all these videos are coming out now that this cat was really like that. He was a gangster, but he just happened to be a rapper and they finally caught him. That's all they say this cat wanted to be known for was a gangster. What's his name? Von? King Von?
Yeah, King Von.
Call me. Like, so fuck millions of dollars, fuck generational wealth, fuck helping kids, fuck all that. You want to be known as a gangster.
Yeah.
And take videos of yourself on the Adam 92s and the with the Whack 100s and all these videos. You want to get these cats on your videos and then you want to talk and drop like fucking
hints and stuff of
self-incriminating fucking, you're giving away you're self-incriminating yourself.
Yeah.
Oh me, I've never seen a dumber.
I saw a video the other day. You know, King Von was like joking about how many bodies he got in Chicago. I'm like, bro, like that ain't back in the day. Listen, killing is always wrong, of course, but at least back in like your day, it was complete opposite. It's like, first of all, if they kill somebody, usually it was like at least it was like a legit reason behind it. Again, it's never right, but at least it was like something like some real stuff went down. Number one. Number two. They're not talking about it at all, not publicly, they don't want to get caught. They don't want to go to jail. But now to your point, JB, the young folks care about their image so much that they don't even care if they go to jail. And because to them, that might add more to the popularity. Like, oh, dang, I got arrested for murdering somebody. Now I'm going to be known in the streets as that guy. Like they care about being known in their hood, in the streets, more than just being known in general on a bigger scale. It's like, forget the money. They want the popularity, and it's crazy. It's really crazy, man. You know,
I've never seen. Yeah, it's a different deal, man. And that's the problem is that normal folks now have to have a head on a swivel, walking around doing regular shit because these cats, you don't know who they're trying to film, who they're trying to capture, and nowadays, you got cats like us on the show that talk shit and go have fun and do all the shit and have our own opinion. And motherfucker don't like that shit.
You're right.
You keep your head on a swivel, man.
I do think we got to take something to blame, though, like my generation and your generation, because let's be real. I mean, growing up, when you're a young person, even when I was a kid, the kids that would get in trouble or were kind of be in the streets, they were the popular kids when you're young for whatever reason. Like, it's just the troublemakers are popular when you're young. You know what I'm saying? And obviously with the hip hop culture, you know, the rappers who kind of, you know, let's be real, they kind of popularize being gangster and being like that. And like just over time, I think the young people see that and they're like, okay, well, those are the ones who get respect. Those are the ones that people fear. So I want to be that. Forget everything else. I want to be that. And it's gotten out of control to a space now where kids are getting stabbed at a track meet. It just makes
the issue I have is like, or at least where I'm from and where I grew up and how I grew up, you ain't getting no stripes, we used to call it, for killing no fucking white boy from fucking suburbia.
Right.
This shit ain't going. This shit ain't give. This kid is just a shit bird who fucking had zero fucking parental exposure and said, hey, who brings a kitchen knife to a fucking track meet from jump? He didn't know he was going to have a dispute with this kid.
Right.
Like over a positioning. Like, come on now. He already had a knife. So anything anyone said, it seemed like this motherfucker was ready for it. Could have been fair game. So like, right. This shit is disturbing it all on all fronts, man. And like, again, another school issue on a school campus. And now we're going to be talking about how do you monitor everything as far as entering a football game. How many shootings do we see every single year at a football game? Yeah. That just random shootings, track meets. Now we got little Pop Warner kids and their own fucking coaches shooting motherfuckers, homie. Like, what are we doing, dog? Like, this shit is a joke. But Smitty, all we can do is keep talking about it and moving on, man. I it's unfortunate. It seems like we can't do enough, but we can't. Unfortunately, we just can't. Shout out to Antonio Brown for raising a GoFundMe, man, for the father who was at McDonald's for the kids during the interview. We discussed it the other day. He raised over $50,000 and gave $1,000 of his own money, and then he started the whole thing. Got over $50,000 to the kid. I know there's some dispute out there whether the guy was doing this just for clout. And I know, so rumors are now, Smitty, after I've been reading it, apparently like it's fake. Now, I don't know. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm hearing there's some fakeness to it, possibly. And I know Pat McAfee got duped like this over a cancer patient. And the other part is, man, this is why a lot of folks won't donate to you no more. But if you're a God-fearing man, and I know a lot, we kind of fuck around and mess around with all this stuff when we clown. But to be honest, God knows. And Antonio Brown got blessed yesterday, regardless. At the end of the day, he raised $50,000. If you look at it, the numbers of it, a lot of people donated. So I'm sure no one went broke over it when you have a lot of numbers of donating small amounts. So that's a good part. But like in the McAfee case, and my case, no one knows this story, of course, because I'm not a big A-list celebrity, but like after Netflix, I got hit up by this female, and she sent me videos and pictures and all this shit, and she had cancer and she was on her deathbed. So I sent her $1,000, but I was like, found out she was faked it. For you to fake anything to gain money, in my opinion, is the worst fucking thing you could do. Like faking a death over cancer and shit when my dad died of, like, dog, I almost had a
no morals. Like no morals.
I almost had a bitch from Compton find a bitch. But that's a whole nother story. Let's dive into the quote of the day, brought to you by BetUS TV. Head on over to BetUS TV. We're going to be doing some videos on BetUS, some betting stuff as well as Major League Baseball is here. Dodgers 8-0, first time ever for a repeating World Series champion to start the season 8-0. And the second place Padres continue to win and stay undefeated at 7-0. Yes, again, let me say it again. The second place Padres continue to stay undefeated at 7-0. Congratulations, Padres. You can win every game and still finish second. Shout out to Chris Ford and all the San Diego Day, Jerry Ports and everybody in the chat right now, all the Padre fans, AE, everybody. The Dodgers are still in first place, and y'all are undefeated. Make it make sense. Quote of the day, Smitty. Quote of the day, BetUS TV. If you see your friend with an enemy, make sure they know you now have two enemies.
Woo-wee. That's top 35, homie. I like that. That's top 35, homie. If you see your friend with an enemy, make sure that enemy knows that he now has 2 enemies because I am my brother's keeper. That's so powerful right there, homie. That's a bar. That's a Liv said is weak. Never mind. Forget everything I just said. Liv said is weak. So dang. So I guess Smitty could never go on the pivot. What are you talking about?
Somebody said
Why? Because I'm black?
Let me see. No, I put that on. I didn't put that. I was trying to put all the rankings up.
Ethan Nolan, top 50. That's cool. I respect top 50. I said top 35, but top 50 is still really good.
Oh,
Ethan top 50 in anything, that's really good, homie.
Ethan changed, and now he said number 30.
Top 30. All right, Ethan. Change his mind quick. And I don't like your avatar either. I see you got Danny Dimes as your picture, homie. Change your picture. Dirty Mike and the Boys, top 73. Very specific. I'd love to hear the first 72. 6'7". All these quotes always have a negative someone stabbing you in the back energy. It do be like that. You can tell JB has been like he has trauma, homie. Like he been done wrong his whole life, homie. The Dolphins ghosted top 19. All right. Top 5. Andrew, tell me the top 4 right now. If it's top 5, that means you should know the top 4 just like this. Put it in the comments right now. The top 4 quotes he's done. I'll give you like 5 minutes, 10 minutes because it's gonna take time for you to type everything out. The top 4, I want to see it. We'll read it when you drop it.
Contrary to Belief is brought to you by BetUS as well, because I said fuck everybody else. BetUS is the same place to be. Here's the issue I have, Smitty. Now you got to try to top every time. Every time I do a quote, I got to top it with Contrary to Belief and all this shit. But it's Contrary to Belief today. It's a real thing. It's not really about.
Don't explain. Just say it. When you explain it, make it weak.
Well, no, I don't really care if people think it's weak because I know my truth.
Okay.
I pay attention to actions, not words. I hear what you say, but see how you move. I pay attention to actions, not words. I hear what you say, but I see how you move. Contrary to Belief.
That's cool.
Don't get it twisted, Smitty.
That's cool.
I see what you do. I don't give a fuck what you say because I ain't listening. I just hear and watch you. That's the bottom line. A lot of you micro thinkers won't understand it, but it is what it is.
But this is your first time in a long time, like weeks, maybe even months.
Nah, don't say it because I just the other day. No. The other day,
the quote of the day was better. Contrary to Belief.
The other day, quote of the day was better, homie.
I don't think I did say that. This is the first time in a while that quote of the day clearly beat Contrary to Belief. Look, Basora just said it was weak.
Look, King Ma. People really be paying attention how people really be paying attention if you explain it right, if you explain it wrong, like real shit.
King Moss, tell me how I explained it wrong. I thought I said it perfectly. Look, Brian Roach said, take your own advice, Smitty. When you explain it, it makes it weak. He's a serial killer. Look at the way he got his hat low. Anytime a white dude put the hat on with the brim low to cover the eyes with the hood, you got to watch them.
D. Jones said JB's energy was off, but the Contrary to Belief was better.
Really? Okay. All right.
That guy, that white dude that had the hat down.
Yeah.
I found out. I just found out what they are. They said they call bros.
Oh, he's a bro.
I get. You know about that?
Nah.
It's called bros.
Like it's like a gang.
Nah, I guess they're just like a different white boy. They're like a white dude that drives the big white truck, the jacked up trucks, and they got the trucker hats, but they just wear the trucker hats regular.
But he wears this real low though, like your head.
Yeah, but they do that. They do that too, though.
Yeah,
this is a bro. It's a bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
so,
like it.
At what point? I guess like what's the cutoff line? The brim that makes you a bro. Like at what point does it make you a bro?
A white boy want to be a brother.
Okay, right there. Yep.
It's a white dude that's like
sports.
Yeah. Bro.
Okay.
Like a cat that could go both ways. He could do either one.
Oh.
He was coaching, working hard. He was sweating. He turned his hat around. Athlete, coach, show host.
First thing you said was a cat who can go both ways. So like bisexual.
No, I didn't even think that way at all.
I just want to get clarity for the chat.
Meaning he could be a regular white or a bro. Is this both ways?
I don't know if you want to be a bro. I feel like a bro can like. Hey, you ever seen that? What was that show, y'all? Tell me in the chat. It was on Netflix. Had about 2 or 3 seasons. The white dude, he would walk around with like a hat real low, and he would like stalk women, and he would narrate it in his own voice. It was kind of like suspense, but it had a little bit of humor in it too. But like he would date these women for a little while, and I think he would like kill them at the end. It was popular during the pandemic, y'all. Somebody tell me in the chat. Y'all know what I'm talking about. He had the hat on.
Dexter?
No, it ain't Dexter. It ain't Dexter. You. Yeah, You. There you go. It's called You. Did you ever see You?
I don't watch You. I watch
You never
me.
saw You?
No. Never heard of it.
Man, I wish I could find like a little picture how he walked around. Because he walked just like that with the hat real low, like ready to move.
You talking about Last Chance You?
No, I've never seen that in my life. What is that?
Some fucking crazy white boy.
You know what? I did see Last Chance You. I saw the basketball season. They had a black coach. Yeah, that's dude from You. But when he walking around, like the hat would be real low, dark around his eyes, and he just be stalking women. It was weird, I don't know.
Huh.
Yeah, I did see Last Chance You though, but the best season that I saw was the basketball season with the black coach.
Oh, the brother coach that don't cuss.
The one that don't cuss. Yeah. That was a really good season though, honestly. Like I
heard that. Yeah, I heard that show is kind of like made the other show, like the football coach, even look crazier. Yeah.
Really?
But anyway, yeah, because they made him look like a saint, and the other guy they made look like a bad guy. But really, all the kids loved him even more, and then they didn't realize how that worked and how's this crazy white dude get all these brothers that love him, and it's just weird.
Right in the God, I literally have not seen the full season of the one that the other guy was on. I've seen a few episodes, but I wasn't the guy that was like on the bandwagon when it first dropped. I was hearing about it, of course, but I wasn't like binge watching it though. So I still to this day need to go in here and watch like the last few episodes. To see
me too.
Seriously, yeah.
Me too. I'll probably do it one day.
Yeah.
I will too. Poll question brought to you by Bet US. Let's go on over there today. Smitty, is Aaron Rodgers holding out for Minnesota? Why hasn't he signed? Why hasn't he signed a contract? He just threw a deck. With fucking DK Metcalf here at UCLA. They said he called DK. Let's get together. I'm out here in LA. Blah blah blah. Why hasn't he signed? Minnesota is yet to give him a contract. Pittsburgh has. And there is no other reason. Ben Roethlisberger came out on a show yesterday and said there has to be a reason, and the reason is Minnesota. I've seen it all morning long. People are thinking it's Minnesota is what he's holding out on. I find that hard to believe. I think the deal's done. I think it's a joke because Aaron Rodgers plays this fuck you game where he is always going to think he's one step ahead of the public who question and guess about what he's doing and how he's moving. And he loves to call out the Adam Schefters of the world and all these people that he does. McAfee's going to have a live show in Pittsburgh next week. I wouldn't be shocked at all if that's where it is announced. Aaron pops up live, and it's a huge, huge McAfee show. It'll probably top 1 million people live. And because he's already been close with Aaron Rodgers before, I think 400,000 or 500,000 when he had that Jets announcement. So I wouldn't be surprised if it goes over 1 million. That's where I'm leaning, Smitty. I think it's a done deal because I don't believe truly, Smitty, and then you could have it from here, that Mike Tomlin is entering the season right now this late as we get closer to draft without QB1. I believe there'd be more panic out of Pittsburgh than there is because there is no quarterback remaining unless you trade for Kirk Cousins. And I just think it's a mutual handshake agreement that this is a done deal and Aaron's going to be a Steeler. That's just my gut. But let's hear your take. Is he waiting for Minnesota?
Yes, I think he is. Now, two things can be true. Do I think he'll end up being a Steeler? Yes, I do, because I think Steelers are the only team that really, really wants him, right? So I think he'll end up being there, but that's not his plan A. His plan B is Pittsburgh. His plan A is throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and that tight end, and handing the ball back to his old running back, Aaron Jones, and having an offensive-minded head coach and an offense that he's very familiar with and a division he's very familiar with, and being able to play Green Bay twice a year and beat them, hopefully, in his head and get back to him. And that's what he wants, right? But he understands the way it looks right now that they're probably leaning more towards going with the young guy, Jason McCarthy. So he's only left with literally one option, which is the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I do think your theory of him making it official will more than likely be on McAfee's show next week live there. It makes the most sense. But I think he is holding out just in case Minnesota comes in last minute like, hey, you've been watching JJ. His knee's not recovering the way we wanted to. We don't know if he'll be fully ready the way we want him to, for training camp, whatever the case may be. Let's go with Aaron for 1 year. So I think two things are happening. Yes, he's waiting for Minnesota for like a last-second Hail Mary situation. But on the flip side, I think in the back of his mind, he knows that realistically he's probably going to end up being a Pittsburgh Steeler. Joe Cord said I'm 100% wrong. Like, there's no way I'm right. There's nothing about what I said is right. And Joe Cord is a Minnesota Vikings insider. But right now, Joe Cord, I don't believe nothing you say because there was a tornado that touched down in my city last night. It was a horrible storm in my city last night, and you gave me no warning. You were on this show for 3.5 hours yesterday, didn't give me any warning at all that Indianapolis, Indiana would have a tornado hit. My sister, my mother called me last night. My little sister, paranoid, nervous as hell. They're in the bathroom trying to take cover. Winds going crazy. Everybody's scared. And Joe Cord, our weatherman, did not tell Big Smitty. I had no idea. So I can't trust you no more, Joe. I don't want to hear anything else you say about the weather for at least 2 weeks.
And Joe was wrong. 9 out of 10, the last 9 out of 10 weather reports on the ocean, he was wrong. He was right on the last one. Mm-hmm. There was some little swells. Other than that, he said it was shitty, and then it was like 80, and then it was calm as glass. And then one day he said it was going to be rough seas, and then I went out on the real water, and it was fucking beautiful. He's never been right.
Yeah. So I'm mad at you. I don't want to hear it's in the Discord, homie. I was busy yesterday. It's 1,000 messages in the Discord. You need to hit. You come on our show every morning. You should have been bold. Any other time, Joe, you want something to be heard, you put the same message multiple times. Make sure we see it. If we have a guest on here who's a Minnesota Viking and you have a question, you're going to pay $10 and put the same question. Ask Sheldon Day, what does he think about O'Connell? Ask Sheldon Day, what does he think about O'Connell? Okay, Joe, we going to ask him. But when it has to do with my city in a tornado, you throw one little message out and blame me for not seeing your comment when you got 3,000 people in the dang show. Come on, Joe. We beefing right now, homie. You lucky my family's safe, or it would have been me and you. It would have been me and you. Go ahead, Jason.
I didn't hear any of that. I fucking missed it. My mic went out. I mean, my thing went out. Let's dive into the rundown, Smitty. We got a loaded show today. Leonard Marshall, NFL legend, will be joining us. Can't wait. Smitty has a full list of questions for him. Steve Kim joins us with Leonard as being one of his greatest fans, and a lot of great questions Steve has for Leonard. And then we have another special guest as well, man, a motivational speaker extraordinaire, a disabled legend, an SEC legend, played at Florida, reports on the SEC, does motivational speaking. He'll be joining us today as well. Later on in the show, the last hour, I believe. So I can't wait for him. And Patrick Young is his name. Sorry, I didn't even say his name. Patrick Young, Patrick with a C, no K. So you guys can go do your research on him prior to him arriving on the show. But Smitty, let's dive into it. First topic, you got it.
All right. Well, you kind of led with this in your intro here, but I'll bring it back up. Saints standout defensive tackle Kalen Saunders says he is hosting an LGBTQ youth football camp, saying, and I quote, the NFL is very male dominant and heterosexual dominant, and it feels as though there's really not a space for the LGBTQ community. Sanders says football is for all.
Can you start? Can you go first?
Jason walked out. I'm gonna go first, y'all. So to add a little bit of I guess, context to it, because I read a little bit up on this. I believe that Sanders' brother is gay. He's a backup dancer, I believe, for Taylor Swift. And I believe this is where this is stemming from. You know, I'm assuming that he probably grew up, you know, seeing the quote unquote challenges that his little brother or whatever went through as someone who came out, and probably, I'm assuming, he probably got bullied and whatever the case may be. So this is something that he probably feels is personal and close to him. So that's why he's doing this. Do I agree with this? No, I don't. I'm gonna just be honest. I've been in the locker room, and I know how we are in the locker room in the football space, and I'm sure we've all might have had teammates that might have been gay behind closed doors. Like, who knows? Like, you don't know what they're doing in their bedroom. But I've never had a teammate that was just openly just gay in the locker room, because I'm gonna be real, a lot of teammates would feel uncomfortable. And that's just the truth. You know, you can be mad about it, you can be whatever, you can call it whatever you want to. That's just the truth. You know, it's a very intimate setting. You know, we shower together, we walk around with towels, we talk about, you know, whatever we want to talk about when it comes to relationships. You know, what you gonna do, you know, when you get back to your dorm with the shorty you met the other day. It's just a very intimate type of setting, to where a lot of the men in the locker room who are straight, which is majority of them straight, if they know there's like just openly like gay teammates in that locker room, they won't feel comfortable. So I guess for me, the reason why I have an issue just with at the end of the day, it's just a camp. So cool. Like, they're going and probably just, you know, it's fun, do some ladder drills, run around. It's not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things. But from a macro perspective, and JB likes to always allude to, I can see this type of thing adding up and seeing more and more camps and more camps. And now you have more, you know, people from this community who just so happen to also want to play football, infiltrating the locker rooms. And I just don't know how that, well, matter of fact, I do know that it won't turn out well. Now, again, we've had a couple openly gay players be in the NFL. I know Michael Sam, and then we had the cat that played for the Raiders, another D lineman. I'm losing his name right now. I believe Michael Sam was in and out the league like this. And then the cat who I'm thinking of, he played in the league for
white kid. He got traded. He played. Yeah, we're going to Tampa or
years, but I don't think he's playing no more though. If I'm not mistaken.
Nassib, wasn't it?
Nassib, Carl Nassib. Yep. Thank you, Carl Nassib. So
no, he's out. He retired.
Yeah, he was out. He retired, but he actually did have like a career. So listen, I'm not in that locker room, so I don't know how they treated him or whatever. I heard he was a nice cat and all that stuff. Maybe it worked out well, but I'm just saying, like, if I ask certain players, I'm sure privately, were they a little uncomfortable in certain settings around him, I'm pretty sure that they would say, yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my take, man. You know, micro, not a huge deal. It's just a camp. Macro, I think it could end up being a huge deal.
Yeah, I think you went the other. Like, I'm confused on your take. I'm not confused. I get what you're saying. But I mean, I think it's like, I think you're flipped. My argument flipped. I'm saying my argument's the total opposite of yours, but the same, like, in game, but it's like flip. Let me explain. I think it's a huge deal, not a huge deal in the locker room.
Ooh, okay. All right.
So here's the reason why. Because now in the cancel culture vulture settings that we all have, in this whole accepting and everyone's equal world we live in the locker itself, if he were to come out and say he was gay, I don't think it's a big deal. Like, no more. I don't.
Really?
But I don't believe he's actually gay, right? I don't think he's came out and said.
He's not. I don't know if you heard it. I think his brother is what I'm saying. I think that's why he's even like behind it.
Now, that's where I had the problem. To me, that's a huge deal. And where you said it wasn't a big deal, it's a micro, boom, boom, boom. And then in the locker, it's a big deal. I don't believe he's gay. So I don't think the locker room is going to be affected at all. I believe the world that's watching and the young kids is where the bigger problem is. And that's why I believe this is a huge issue. And this is literally the definition of grooming. Like, why are we having a youth LGBTQ camp?
That's a good point.
What the fuck are we doing, homie? That's the problem I had. That's the only reason that it pissed me off.
That's a good point, actually.
I didn't give a fuck about what you do and who you are. Like,
what's the ages? I wonder. I never even thought about. Yeah, like I just
like.
I don't know.
Yeah, homie. Like, what are we doing here? Like, why is it a fucking always a weirdo attacking the youth when it comes to this? Like, that's the fundamental issue I have. Like, I never heard of a youth LGBTQ fucking community, homie. Like, now we're adding more shit to this fucking already weirdo ass fucking community. Now we're having to add youth to it. See, when you add youth, homie, I don't give a fuck what you are. Like, if it's a woman and a man and a woman, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. But when you add the youth to it is when I have a real fundamental issue, man, because that is the future, and they don't know what they don't know. Like, I don't understand how we don't understand that this is the most manipulative age group on planet Earth. They could be manipulated at any stage. They're young. They listen and do what you tell them to do for the most part when they're babies. Or they do exactly what they see you do. And they don't have to hear shit. And now we're going to do a youth LGBTQ. Should be a fucking ashamed of himself, homie. That's real shit. And if Roger Goodell had any nuts at all, he would say, fuck are we doing? Have a youth flag football camp, motherfucker. How about we do that? Why are we doing a youth LGBT? Is that what you're promoting, Roger Goodell? Is that what you motherfuckers are promoting at the NFL level now? Like, is the next camp an all transgender youth camp? Like, what the fuck are we doing, homie? This shit is a fucking problem, man. And I think that's
a good point. Like, if anything, just have a camp. Just say, hey, I'm having a youth camp for all.
Thank you.
That's it. Now, if the kids show up and they're quote unquote, they think they're gay or whatever at 11, hey, so be it. But just a camp for all. Don't promote it as a LGBTQ camp, because now, shoot, who knows? You might have some kids who not even gay, right? But they want to be at the camp with an NFL player.
Yes,
so now
that's my point.
They just don't show up and just act a certain way, whatever, because they just want to be a part of the camp. So, that's a good point.
Smitty, LGBTQ ain't trying to play fucking football. Like, let's be honest. What are we doing, homie? Is the LGBTQ running around this motherfucker trying to play football, homie? Like, seriously, what are we doing, Smitty? Drop back. What the fuck are we doing, homie?
Parents, if you cut that, leave me out. I think that's a good ending spot right there, though. For the clip, right when JB says, "What are we doing, homie?" Cut it and then go to the outro right there. Just leave me out. I got 9 to 5. But that was pretty funny though. So that's a good clip.
I don't understand, dog. I don't understand. If that's not grooming, I don't understand. Like, I don't understand.
Real quick though, can you show the fans real quick how the quarterback would throw the ball again? I'm just curious. I didn't see it all the way.
Say what?
Can you show the fans how the LGBTQ quarterback would throw the ball again? Like,
well, first of all, they would spend an hour under center teaching the fucking QB center exchange. Let's start with that. So they would teach, how to fondle the motherfucker's nutsack, I'm pretty sure. Then the quarterback, no ball security, even though ball security is the number one thing they would preach. But there'd be no ball security, job security, because first of all, you can't get no momentum, homie, without two hands on the ball.
Right.
But and then, you know what I'm saying? Then the receiver catching it, though, is the motherfucker.
Hey, what if they got an arm, though? What if they throw it? What if around launch that big?
You're not going to find it at the LGBTQ camp, homie.
The receiver's probably good, though. Receivers are already a little zesty anyway.
Yeah, DK.
You might be able to recruit a few of the receivers, homie.
Yeah, DK look kind of a little bit. Here's the issue, Smitty. I'm going to be honest, man. It's actually a shame and grooming. It's literally a fucking We got the kid at Alabama who was cutting the cake with the lace with just 3 laces.
Oh shit!
You remember that video? We got fucking dudes painting their nails. Like, it just, listen, man, each his own and all that. I'm not here to bash nobody. I don't give a fuck about your denomination. I don't give a fuck about your sexuality. I really don't. When you start to get into the kids' spaces, and I see these weirdo fucks dancing for kids at a Hooters and a weirdo made-up humans doing this, and there's kids involved, I have a fundamental fucking issue. And then that's just the real talk part of this thing. Like, what are we doing? And we got an NFL person who has a platform and resources, agents, management teams, marketing teams that could do something so much better for the kids, but they're focusing on this. And listen, man, you can call me what you want. I really don't give a fuck about his brother being gay on Taylor Swift tour. That's a you problem. That's not my kid's fucking problem. That's not the kids in America's problem. That's not something you promote to youth and say that my brother got picked on for being gay. I get it. We all get it. That's a problem you should take up with him in that space. Take that to another space and say, I'm hosting a LGBTQ social awareness camp for grown folks. It ain't the babies picking on your fucking gay brother, homie. It was grown folks. It was kids at his age in school. Right. They were all the same age. So if you want to talk about that, do that shit. Have your own camp to talk about self-awareness for this community. How about you do that? Makes a lot more sense than fucking adding the youth involved and having an LGBT. I don't know any LGBTQ family or youth kids. And I don't know anyone aspiring to be an LGBTQ member as a fucking 7 or 10-year-old. It's what you taught them to be, motherfucker. It's what you showed them to be. It's like the white boy and the black kid when they're babies and they're holding hands and they're walking down the street. They don't know what racism is. You taught them, homie. It's a learned trait. Like, I'm blown away by this shit, man. I really am.
I hear you, man. I know we can go all day on this.
Yeah, shame on this motherfucker, man.
So JB is 6:56. Steve is coming on in 4 minutes. So we have 2 options here. We either he
won't be on in 4 minutes. He'll probably be on about 10.
Okay, so if that's the case, then I say this. Why don't we go to what's happening now, just so we have a little bit of time to talk about it?
Yeah.
And then we'll go to a quick commercial break, and then we'll come back and go from there. Does that work for you?
Yeah, let's do it. What's happening now? That was you on the right.
Where you at?
I'm on the other side. As new photos emerge, Smitty, in this What's Happening Now segment. This is why you don't have LGBTQ youth camps. A 9x8 foot room was filmed for over 20 years, Smitty.
Ooh.
And a man was allegedly locked in this room for over 20 years. And body cam footage from after the fire that happened shows suspected captor Kimberly Sullivan denying he was ever locked in this room. A dude was locked in a house for 20 years and held captive, homie. There was body fucking cam footage of this, homie, for 20 years.
Were they sleeping together?
Nah, it was a stepmom of a kid.
Oh.
And the stepmom apparently is now denying it, but the kid apparently that grew up to be a man in this fucking space, 9x8 space, homie.
Stepmom, where the daddy at? Did the daddy pass away?
I don't know, or he didn't know, or I don't know. Now I'm reading
because again, it's the stepmom, which means your dad married another woman that wasn't your mother, which means that's the only. So how could the stepmama hold you captive if the daddy's in the same house?
Well, I want to make it full circle because we're a real show and we're informative, and I don't have this on today, so I don't have my thing on today. So whatever I say it doesn't mean nothing.
Yep.
This goes back to the female teachers out there that are getting arrested right now for SA on 15-year-old boys.
I don't see the connection. I do not see the connection.
You and I know and both agree that there's no 15-year-old boy in the world that isn't spread eagle waiting for this badass teacher to show up and fuck shit out of him.
I'm the most spread eagle, but I hear you.
Especially the last few teachers that have been caught because they're actually looking pretty good.
Bailey hates this, by the way.
Yeah, they actually look good. So this fine ass teacher walked into this 15-year-old boy and fucked shit out of him.
I keep saying.
And now we're saying it's SA. You're telling me that this woman, Smitty, took this kid, this boy, and locked him down for 20 years, and this boy couldn't get out of it?
Little boy.
So every time she came down to feed him, he
But hold on real quick, Jason.
Hold on. I'm running to the LGBTQ youth camp. What the fuck we doing?
She didn't kidnap him as a grown man. She probably kidnapped him when he was like 7. So
what I'm saying,
can't do anything.
What I'm saying, 20 years went by. The motherfucker turned to a man in there.
Yeah, but mentally though, he's fucked.
Nah, hell no.
No, hold on. You just said little kids are like sponges and you can groom them mentally to be whatever you wanted. She didn't mess his mind up as a kid. So now when he's 19, he don't even know what to do.
He figured out how to record it and get a body cam on there to record this for 20 years. He ain't that fucking dumb. Come on, homie. 2 things can't be true. Bullshit. 2 things can't be true. This motherfucker not fucking smart and figure out a body cam to film this bitch for 20 years and get her ass caught up and then be dumb as a rock to where
I ain't say he was dumb. I'm just saying he's broken. Here you go. Baby girl's a good word. Smitty has a point. He was broken, homie. You can take a kid and mold them into a killer, into being soft, to being crazy.
Can we see a picture of her?
It's like I don't want to compare a kid to a dog, but I'm just saying it's like getting a brand new dog, right? You can train that dog.
You got to be a weak-minded motherfucker. Baby girl, he's a weak-minded motherfucker. We got to stop promoting and we got to stop reporting and promoting weak-minded motherfuckers. We got to stop it. We got to stop.
But hold on, for real. I think the age in which he was quote unquote captured matters. If she got to do when he was 5 or 6, Jason, that ain't got nothing to do with being weak-minded. You're 5. You're a baby. What are you talking about? That makes no sense.
I'm just saying, Smitty. He grew up.
You telling me she got him at 15, 16, and held him for 20 years? Hey, that's a different conversation.
I got a couple of questions that we got to ask ourselves. Yes. Fundamental questions. How did he get the camera?
I don't know. We don't know.
So nobody want to talk about that though. But he's a dumb motherfucker that's tarred. How did he get the camera?
No. You're saying dumb. We're not saying he's literally dumb. I'm saying he got manipulated. Is what I'm trying to tell you. His mind.
I don't give a fuck how much manipulation's out there. Once I became a grown man in a room, Smitty, I'm figuring out. Damn. I'm in a box for 20 years and I'm just going to sit here?
It's something called Stockholm Syndrome, homie, when you fall in love with your captor.
Yeah.
It's a real thing. Like that's
I know.
God knows what it is. I'm sorry, homie.
I did 18 months in the pen and everyone said you don't want to go home because now that's your home and you want to get back into jail. And shut up. No, it's not. Fucking
only 18
lying.
months. That's baby. That's baby time, homie. That's baby
don't
time.
Matter. I don't want to hear it.
10 years,
Smitty,
homie.
I had this
20
debate,
years?
homie. Smitty, I've had this debate with fucking lifers. They call bullshit. They call bullshit. I think I'd rather have some pussy in an ocean sound.
And be homeless and not have no direction.
Hey, Smitty, I've been in the motherfucker 25 years. I get out. Some fucking bad pussy walks by me and the beach crashing. And Smitty, lock me up. Throw away the key. Fuck that pussy. Homie, I don't want no ocean sound.
Let me ask you this, homie. How many people...
Here's what he wants to hear, Smitty.
Come here, Merciless.
That's what he wants it.
How many people get out of jail and go right back, homie? How you get out of prison and go right back, homie?
Get over here, homie.
Yeah, we're gonna go to commercial break, y'all. I'm gonna make me a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. And then we come back, man. Stephen Kim will be here. Then we got the great defensive lineman. I think he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, if I'm not mistaken. Leonard Marshall. We'll talk about them Giants days, man. I think Belichick was the coordinator, man. We have all the great stories. I'm gonna hop out this camera real quick while JB does his thing. And we'll see y'all in 4. Says its plan is to put an electronic system to measure first downs into motion this upcoming regular season. I remember we talked about this, I think, with Steve.
Every year.
We talked about this with Steve though a while back. No, I think Steve, if I'm not mistaken, was the guy who actually feels like this should have been done, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I'm getting confused with another guest, but I'm pretty sure Steve was like, hey, it's 2025. It's like, at this point, we should be able to have an electrical system. Because we had this last year, during the AFC Championship game, Josh Allen gets that fucking first down on that quarterback sneak. He gets that first down on the quarterback sneak, and they probably
we don't know that. We don't know yet.
We do know that. We do know that. We
No,
do
we
know
don't.
that. We do know that. We do know that.
Smitty, a Chinese robot just attacked a bitch in the crowd.
I saw that, homie, and that's your boy Elon, who you love, who you're a fan of.
That ain't Elon. That's Shim Chong Young and them. That ain't Elon, homie. That's Shim Chong Young and them.
He sent them a technology, homie. Where'd they get the technology from, homie?
Elon's not the technology guy. He's not the originator of all technology. You act like this motherfucker's been sending cats to space and shit. Elon's took some other people's shit and ran with it, homie. Kim Jong-un and them did this. Here's the thing. Let's be real. So a fucking robot attacked a motherfucker in China, and we're thinking that this shit right here is going to get the first down right.
They're still going to have the chain gain as a backup option as well. They're not removing the chain gain.
What's going on, homie?
Oh, shoot.
Look at that shit. Oh, yeah, she got babies of cold, but look at that motherfucker.
And he was hot, too, though. He was hot. Hey, the robot,
he looked like AB. Looked like AB. I thought it was Antonio Brown.
Hey, the robot said, motherfucker, you better stop yelling in my ear.
Look like AB, huh?
That's super racist. That's like you.
Why is that racist? AB right there, homie.
Who? The robot?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Damn. What about the robot look like AB? I'm just curious.
Just like from the back view, homie. He looked like I'm just looking at him.
What specifically about him looks like reminds you of AB?
The vest. He wears the vest a lot, and he got he had something on his head. I mean, that's what I saw.
None on his head.
Yeah, he got a little string on it.
That's the robot. That's the head. That's the robot. That's him.
That's the robot head, homie.
That's him. Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought he had a bandana on. I thought they were making it like human. Homie. Why you got a vest on then?
This dude,
my mind, Smitty, my brain sees things. My brain sees shit, and then I see it, and then you guys all see it, and then you say, "Damn, that motherfucker that really is AB." Like, you know what I'm saying? You'll see it in a couple of days. You'll be like, "Damn, JB said that's AB," and then Cameron and Mace will say it, and then no, he won't give us the fucking credit, and then Shaq will say it, and then everybody will come out 10 years from now and say, "Oh, JB said that first," and then some fucking nobody in the chat will come out and say, "Shaq said that shit."
Moving on, man. Another big time topic right here, man. It's kind of moving to the NFL world.
Well, I just want to finish up talking about your fucking marker, homie. That's just why are we so lazy in society now? We wonder why we're so lazy. This is why, homie. Go get the old white to hold the fucking sticks at the fucking on the sideline. He has no life anyway. If you take him out of Grandma Ma and them's house, he's going to die any fucking way. Put him on the sideline, give him his pension. He's already been in the NFL for 40 years. Let him hold the fucking marker. Why is this so hard? Then go get you a fucking competent fuck and NFL Roger Goodell. Pay your people. Pay the referees to not have to work at fucking Walmart and then come over and coach in the referee in the fucking NFL playoffs. How about you pay these motherfuckers full?
Yes, sir. We're back in the building, man. Our main man, the Korean Kosel himself, the co-host of Jason Whitlock's Fearless, and the 3 knockdown rule with Mario Lopez. Our main man, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Gem, Steve Kim joins the show. Steve, what up?
Morning, fellas. Can you hear me?
Morning. Yep, we got you.
Got you.
Good morning. Good morning. Happy Thursday. I'll know today, Steve, about the yacht, and I got a new toy. I might have to take it out, but Final Four is here, Steve, and I know you and I are probably not too excited about watching this shit because I couldn't tell you a fucking player other than Cooper Flagg in this. And I guess the Final Four is the big topic this weekend, and I know there's some fights this weekend, so I know you got to chime all this in together and watch these fights this weekend. I just got to ask you, who's fighting and how big of a slate is it?
Well, I mean, it's busy. I don't think there's anything great. Like Janabek, who's the unified middleweight champion, he fights in Kazakhstan. And then Joe Joyce takes on Filip Hrgovic in a heavyweight battle. Kind of loser goes home. ESPN at night, the top-ranked show, has Richard Torres against Guido Vianello. But the guy that I'm really interested in that card is Abdullah Mason. I think is a blue-chip 5-star prospect. And then there's another card on. Let me see. I wrote it down here for my quick jabs. Who else is fighting?
I like Richard Torres.
Tim Tszyu. Tim Tszyu fights from Australia against Joey Spencer. So I got to watch all that stuff and then, peek into the basketball game here and there.
Hey, Steve, how were the fights this past weekend in Vegas?
Well, the main event was pretty good. Michaela Mayer outworked Sandy Ryan. That was a really good performance. Mayer's one of the few female fighters that I actually enjoy watching. And the guy that I came to see specifically, Bruce Shoo Carrington, I thought looked very sharp. He looks like a guy ready to fight for a world title.
He called out everybody,
exactly what he needed to do.
Yeah, he called out everybody after the fight. So that was a good one.
I know we got a video of that later on. I know Smitty wanted to talk about, but yeah, I'm curious on this weekend's Final Four, Steve, real quick. Would you be crazy to think anyone other than Duke to win it all?
I mean, there's 4 number 1 seeds, right? So is there really an upset per se? So I am interested in getting an extended look at Coop, see what he's really all about on the big stage. But, I'm kind of with you. Outside of him, I really don't know a single player. I have not watched a lot of this tournament.
And I think this is the worst possible matchup for Duke playing Houston, who will press you full the whole game. They're going to get in your face. I think this defense wins championships, as any sport does. I think that this defense, I got Houston winning it all. I picked them before the tournament. So I'm still going to obviously stick with them. But Duke, to Shaun King's point, who watches them dearly for some reason, going to Tulane, loving Duke. Shout out to Shaun King. We still don't get that. But anyway, they got 3 or 4 NBA scorers on the team, and I don't know if there's another team that has 3 or 4 possible NBA guys that can score the basket in the NBA. And that's his point. I agree, but at the same time, man, college is college. Houston is going to play defense and shock you, I think, in my opinion. But that is what it is. I don't really give a fuck. I mean, I don't really care, Smitty. I don't really care. Hey, Steve, I'm excited to have you on today, though, because Leonard Marshall joins us later on. before you get out of here, and I know you are a huge Leonard Marshall fan growing up, as I was. Obviously, some great Giant teams and watching his career, but I can't wait to actually dive into that later on in the show with you. So I appreciate you joining us. Smitty, let's dive into it.
Yes, sir. Let's get to it, man. So Grambling State head coach Mickey Joseph was talking about the transfer portal and had an interesting solution. Let's check out this video.
We understand. I think the kids understand if they're here and if they're sophomores and they have a big year and a group of 5 or a power 5 approach them and they have the finances to pull them out of there and I can't match the finances, then you know what, they're gonna go. That's part of it. Coach has been doing it for years, so we shouldn't get mad as coaches when these kids make decisions to take care of their family. Because like I said, I'm gonna say it again. Coach has been doing it for years, but I also think there need to be a buyout. If they move up for me and go to group of 5 and power 5, I should get kind of a compensation for that, you know? So NCAA, if you're listening to me, I need a buyout.
BPS right here. Steve, what's your take? You agree, disagree?
Well, this is now professional football. I've been saying it from the beginning. I would have multi-year scholarships, just contracts. And the Mickey doesn't have a bad idea, the buyout. But it's easy for him to say, well, coaches, we've been doing it for years. Yeah, wait till it starts to happen to him 5, 6, 7, 8 times. He's not going to feel the same way.
I agree. And the other issue is that it's been happening, but it hasn't happened to what I don't believe he put context to it. If a coach leaves Smitty early, he has to pay back monies.
There is a buyout. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand why people are dismissing this. The kids don't have to pay back shit. They actually get more money, that money they got and new money. So it's totally different. I don't understand. I don't know where the context is, but this needs to be said and mentioned because coaches have been leaving for better jobs, but that's what the world is about, like moving on up.
Right.
So
and the NIL is about theoretically, it was about a well-known player that should be able to monetize his identity and his brand and his recognition. Can we be honest? If a kid goes from LSU, from Grambling, there's no LSU fan that knows one player from Grambling. They might know Doug Williams or Willie Brown.
Yeah.
All right. But they don't know the current left guard that's going to be poached.
No.
So why would he be getting an NIL in theory? You know?
That's my point. Yeah. That's what I've been saying. I agree. I agree fully.
No, it's a good point. Yeah, I probably don't lean on your side a little bit more as well. So, we'll see. I get it. The coach is gonna try to find a way to eat a little bit too, right? He said, "Hey, I want that buyout," so he's gonna try to find a way to get him some money as well. So, before we move on to our next topic, though, there's a video I think that JB sent over to Bailey that he wanted to, I guess, show you or surprise you with, Steve. So we're gonna check this out and get your reaction.
You come in this courtroom, the bigger you are, the blacker you are guilty till proven innocent. Big black ugly motherfucker, you.
Have I seen this?
Yeah, big black ugly motherfucker. Yeah, man, motherfucker guilty. He got to prove his innocence. Ain't no motherfucker innocent till proven guilty. White man is the only motherfucker that's innocent till proven guilty. Black motherfucker done something wrong. Especially if you're in the court of law. I wouldn't give a damn for an insurance wreck.
My first time seeing it, JB.
Yeah. No, yeah. That brings about an idea.
Oh, shit.
We've had Judge Judy, and going all the way back, Judge Wapner, the original People's Court judge, Judge Joe Brown. Mills Lane had a show. He was great.
Mills Lane.
They need to have a courtroom show where street drama is adjudicated by Charleston White. And the name of it would be called Nah, with Charleston White.
Hey, it would be entertaining. I will say that.
Or you can just call it Snitching. Parentheses is good by Charleston White. I'd watch that every day.
Hey, Joe Brown. I like Joe Brown, though. He's the truth. Him and Kwame Brown.
Yeah. Judge Joe Brown be like, so you mean to tell me at 2:30 a.m. you went to his house for a plate of collard greens? Sound like a crackhead move to me.
Judge Joe Brown, I believe, went to UCLA.
Pretty good, Smitty.
Thank
Yeah, with all the Crouching Tigers, because there's a 50,000 enrollment at UCLA. 49.6 thousand of them are Crouching Tigers, and the rest are white and black.
Well, UCLA, University of Caucasians, lost among Asians. I remember hearing that joke a lot.
Yeah, or
if you did a daily street justice show with Judge Charleston White, count me in. My DVR would be programmed for series record, no doubt about it.
We need an old school show again, like the bald-headed white dude. What's his name from Phil Donahue or what was that show? Yeah, Steve Wilkos. we need something like that. I think Smitty and we should do that. That's what we should do. But anyway,
saying, there's some things we can tap into, Jason. Outside, breaking news. What's going on, baby?
What's going on, fellas? We got a trade in the NFL here that just went down. The Dallas Cowboys have traded for a new quarterback. Joe Milton, Tennessee Volunteer, former Michigan quarterback, traded from the New England Patriots to the Dallas Cowboys. Joe Milton and a 7th traded to the Cowboys for a 5th-round pick. Breaking news.
Huh. Interesting. Steve's mentioned Joe Milton before as a super uber talented kid, but he's another kid that'll never play it down in the NFL.
This feels like
Milton
a waste.
Throw the ball a country mile. He was Mr. August last season. I worry about his intermediate touch and accuracy on a consistent.
Because they got rid of Cooper Rush, right?
Yeah, Cooper Rush is with Baltimore, I believe.
Yeah.
Jackson.
So they do need a backup. Milton brings you some stuff athletically. I just don't know if he's accurate enough consistently to ever really be an NFL starter.
Steve, I'm trying to put all these puzzles together and these pieces together to the big puzzle, and it just seems to me more and more teams are getting older QBs that are already in the NFL rather than have to fuck with this draft and draft a quarterback. I'm just telling you, a lot of people thought maybe Dallas takes Shador or Jackson Dart or Jalen Milroe. Seems to me that they're going to go with a veteran backup. I'm just telling you. I think the reason I say it's news, kid Puggy, you fucking nobody, is because I truly believe that NFL teams are trying to steer away from this shitty quarterback draft. I'm just telling you.
Well, I mean, there's only going to be 2 first-rounders. It's not that deep. So I believe Cam Ward will probably be the presumptive number 1 pick. The question is Shador. I've seen mocks that have him top 3 going to the Giants, which I think seems a little high. I've seen other ones that have him going into the teens. I think that's really where the drama lies in this upcoming draft. Where does Shador go? How fast and how early?
Yeah, I'm curious on – because we got Leonard Marshall on. Hopefully he has some inside news on some stuff. But I'm just curious on – do they take a quarterback that's not going to impact that roster this year while Brian Daboll is a lame duck coach on probably his last year if he doesn't win? That's just my issue. Like, I get it. But we've had these analysts on this last few weeks. Yesterday, we had a great one on, and he was like, but they signed Russell to a 1-year deal, JB. They signed Jameis Winston to a 2-year deal. They got to get a quarterback, too. And I'm like, damn, I just don't know if they can fill roster holes by drafting a quarterback that's basically never had to compete for his starting spot ever. Shador Sanders.
In mind, most teams nowadays do not keep 3 quarterbacks.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I don't understand.
Don't they? I mean,
yeah. So I don't know. We'll see if John Mara says, I don't know, do what you want to do, Dable, because I think this is it.
If you're Coach Prime and you've talked about your son only wanting to play for certain organizations, a situation that, look, so New York, we all know, is a major media market. There are marketing possibilities and endorsements that would not exist in other markets. But here's the question, though, guys. That's a bad team.
Yeah.
In Charles Barkley's words, bad team, man. Bad motherfucking team. Is that a great situation for Shador? The Giants.
I don't think so. Off the field, yes. On the field, not at all. They need too much. I feel like the Saints will be a good fit for them. Like they're not great, but they have some better pieces than the Giants, and they're in a weaker division too, where you at least got a chance. If you go win 9 games with the Saints, you might win the division. You know what I'm saying? So that's the team that's coming to my mind. But to your point, Steve, the mock drafts we've been seeing, he's been all over the place. I don't know where he's gonna go.
By the way, the New Orleans, don't they kind of like Spencer Rattler a little bit?
It feels that
Yes.
way. Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
That's
you know,
yes.
if they
That's
like
why.
him enough, they're going to say, no, we're good at quarterback.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, Steve, let me ask you real quick our poll question. Is Aaron Rodgers waiting on Minnesota? Is that really a true thing?
I don't
in your
know.
opinion?
I'm just, look, as someone who likes Aaron Rodgers, I'm turned off by this.
Me too.
Plant your flag somewhere and start being that team's quarterback and leader.
I agree. I'm the same way. I've been saying it.
Hayward. Look, you're with us or you're not. Let's get going.
Yeah, I just feel I find it hard pressed. Smitty and I started a conversation to show off. Like, him and Tomlin have to have some sort of a handshake agreement, in my opinion, or I don't see Tomlin going this late without having a quarterback on their roster. That's a playoff roster. There's just no way. They got to have an agreement, because the only other choice you have is to trade now and lose some pieces to get a Kirk Cousins for a 1-year bridge gap. Like, there's no other quarterback out there. Like, I would find it hard. I think he makes an announcement on McAfee that we've said next week. McAfee will be in Pittsburgh, and they'll make a huge show out of it. That's what I think will end up happening. But what do I know? We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's out here throwing the ball to DK Metcalf for no reason.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm
very,
saying.
That's very specific.
right here with the Crouching Tigers, by the way. So I'm curious to see. Hey, Steve, if I told you the Giants were to draft Ashton Genty at 3, would you say I'm crazy?
Yeah, I think Genty's one of the sure things in the draft. Barring injury, he'll be a perennial 1,000-yard back. Maybe not just rushing, but he could do a little dual threat. But to take him at 3, if I'm the Giants, I would gamble then. If that's your guy that you put on that highlight marker on your big board, I would try to see if I can get lower into the top 10 and then play a game. This is a deep running back class. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. You can get a really good one in rounds 2 or 3. Or later in the first, Mario Hampton, guys like that. Yeah, Damian Martinez may not even be a top 10 back. I think he's vastly underrated, his ability to move the pile. I don't know. Taking a running back at 3, given the fact that's a bad team, if you were one piece away, and that is a rusher, I get it. The Giants are about 50 pieces away.
Yeah, I agree.
Sure, you take a running back at 3.
And the only reason I say it, because there is no Joe Alt in this draft. There is no, and their O-line's bad, regardless of the quarterback, regardless of who's the running back. They need O-line help. But the issue is they've already made this whole huge, horribly bad Saquon Barkley deal. And at some point, you're going to have to eat crow and say, and move on with your fan base and say, hey, I won't make it again. Let's replace him at least and get a big time back.
If Saquon Barkley was on the Giants, they're not going to the Super Bowl. They're not the Eagles. Aren't they just really a 6-win team at that point instead of, what, a 3-win? I mean, what's really the difference? They did Saquon.
I agree. I agree 100%. But I think you got to still go. I don't know. I agree. I mean, I would think you would take Shedeur Sanders actually over him, in my opinion. That's probably more the way they'll go. But they need so much. I've even floated around the D-line play.
All right, but Coach, here's the issue. If you take Shedeur at 3, you have a coach who is on the hot seat, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I agree. That's my take.
May or may not be ready to play immediately, right? So if you're Dayball and you know my job's on the line, I got to win some games here. With the number 3 pick, you're basically going to give him a redshirt year for the next coach. If I'm Dayball, I'm thinking,
my point.
That ain't great for me.
Hey, that's exactly been my point. I'm like, there's no way you can take Shedeur Sanders at 3 if you're going to try to win right now. And if Abdul Carter's sitting there or Travis Hunter, there's no way you don't take those guys.
Travis Hunter's the guy that, for some reason, it's like we're not really bringing him up a lot. And I'm not seeing his name a lot when it comes to there. But Travis Hunter makes a lot of sense.
Hunter with Malik Neighbors, I'll at least be fun.
Yeah.
I can get my running back in round 2.
Yep. And
or
then,
3.
Try to find a gym in the O-line.
Outside with Malik Neighbors. Now I got something. Now I have a shot to do something. Yep.
With Russ and Jameis back there, hey. At least,
guys, I like Abdul Carter. I have a concern about him, though. His physical strength, look, he's very, very bendy. He can come off the corner. Great burst. But his physical strength at the point of attack, he does not have a great counter move. I'm just, look, he's going to be good but there are some concerns. He's on the ground a lot for a player of his caliber. That's all I'm going to say. If you actually really watch him, once he gets locked up on that initial burst, does he have a counter? Because that's a different breed of left tackle at the next level.
Yeah, it is 100%. We shall see. We shall see. So, moving this thing along here, going to another topic. This is more in the NBA space, but been trending on Twitter. NBA star Anthony Edwards reportedly made a historic move by paying a little over $1 million in child support all at once, covering 18 years worth of payment.
Okay.
Steve, I already see your facial expression. What's on your mind?
I tweeted this yesterday. He did the reverse LA Dodgers contract negotiations. You know how the Dodgers defer all their money?
Yeah.
Right, so they're paying to like 2080?
Yeah.
Anthony Edwards just says, nah. Here's all your money and get the out of my life. See, now that's a guy in the 90s, if he went to Chess King and he bought Cavaricci's and the silk rayon shirts, he wouldn't do layaway. Oh, no, he's just buying all that stuff.
Smitty don't know what Cavaricci is. Smitty don't know what Cavaricci is.
You know.
Smitty, you know cross colors? Smitty, you know cross colors?
Nope.
Well, cross colors to the left, and then you got the
hell no. Smitty, you don't know what cross colors is, homie?
Really?
Oh, my God.
Lucky you, yeah, but he's not doing the layaway. He's doing the stay away.
And look at her. It screams.
Stay away plan.
Hey, Smitty, this screams like good pussy, horrible human, right? That's
she
what
had
a
video. If I didn't know we were doing this topic, but she posted a video. I saw. I hope I can find it. She was like defending herself because saying people's in the comments calling her a gold digger because she has a baby with some music artist. She didn't say the name, but she already has a baby with some music artist, and now she has a baby from Anthony Edwards. So people are calling her a gold digger. And she's like, "How would you guys feel if I went on your page and said, oh, okay, you kept the baby because you wanted to be broke your whole life, or you kept the baby with your guy because you wanted to get an extra tax write-off?" Or she's basically trying to like flip. It sounded stupid, but she was trying to flip it in reverse to say, that's how I feel when you constantly go in my comments and say the only reason why I kept my baby is because I want the money in, and I don't.
Hey, but I gotta be honest. I gotta address the elephant in the room. Anthony Edwards, shame on you. You just took a pass around hoe. You just fucked a pass around hoe. That's what you just did. So throw her around. She already had a kid.
We talked about this before, JB. A lot of these girls they're all in the same circle. Like all the rich supposed to be the same group of girls every day.
Hey, I'm gonna steal a Steve quote though. Just because you did a fucking dumb thing doesn't mean I have to do it. And that's what I don't understand. Like I'm for it, man. What was that movie, Steve? So you telling me you slipped and the dick just fell in, huh? You slipped and the dick fell in. Stop.
Look, I don't get the sense that this young lady here is the future Felicia Rashad. All right,
Hell no. Shout out to Miss Huxtable.
And there's an old saying, you pay them to go away. So I think Anthony Edwards says, I'm gonna do my financial responsibility, if not my fatherly duties. But again, this is not the layaway plan. This is the stay away plan. And I guess, I don't know, has the check been sent? Did he go PayPal? Did he go Venmo? Did he go Cash App? That's what I want to know.
I think he zeroed it in split payments.
Okay. They have a payment plan.
They did it.
Hey, bottom line is, dog, you gotta. Hey, he owned it. I guess he owned it and paid the money. I don't know, but I'm just I
Word
can't
on
believe.
the street is he originally gave her money to like get an abortion, and she kept the money and decided to still have the baby. Allegedly.
Well,
that doesn't surprise me.
Well, that's an problem.
Yeah, but hey, at the end of the day, though, like you say, it takes two to tango. If you're gonna sleep with her, wrap up. Why you going in raw? I'm just saying, are you a grown man? Put a condom on.
Like this is your lifelong girl. She already had a kid.
Right, put a condom on. It's that simple. Just put a condom on. I'm not gonna go at you for having some sleep. I get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to be honest, Anthony Edwards and a lot of these guys of every walk of life, they're not looking to settle down with her. Nothing against her. But they know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Now he knows what he's getting out of.
Yeah,
literally.
And again, that's why I'm not judging the action. I'm judging the just wrap up, be responsible, and then go on.
You could have any. The thing about that kills me about these cats, they could have anyone. Like, I just don't understand it, dog. It just really doesn't. It doesn't add up. But anyway, speaking of Asian persuasions, the best player in Major League Baseball, Steve, the Youngs, hit a fucking game winner last night. They were down 5-3.
You got Shohei Ohtani doing it. I saw a ranking the other day that they have Shohei and Mookie Betts as 2 of the top 3 players in all of baseball, and they're on the same damn team. This Dodgers team is like a cheat code for all the game heads. You know how you can go to like season mode and you can like manipulate your team. This is a created team, like the Dodgers. It doesn't really even make sense how good they are right now.
Are they going to lose even 40 games? Are they going to go 120 and 42?
Hey, I'm telling you, we had Brett Boone on, and it was like, look, man, I'm really the first time in my life since I was on the team with Griffey and everybody that won 116. We're unfortunate we didn't win the series, but we won 116, which will still never be broken. He said this might be the year.
Yeah.
So 116 games, Steve, that's a hard thing to do. The Yankees won 125, I believe, on the last part of their three-peat World Series run.
No. I don't know. 98.
No. Overall, I'm saying playoffs included is what I'm saying.
Yeah,
they won 125.
Regular season.
Yeah, regular
I
season.
Losing 50 games. I really don't. Jeez.
Ugh, that's gonna be tough. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. Yeah, go ahead, Bailey. Smitty, let's dive into this. Do we have the kid, the boxing guy, calling out everybody?
I don't see no clip down here. Let me see. Do it.
No, remember we wanted to show it to Steve the other day. We were talking.
I sent it over to you guys, but I do not see that here at the bottom. I think Steve was already talking about that. He was talking about
why we figured that out. I got to ask Steve for something though. Yesterday, Steve, Shaun King, and I defended the old heads about respect, and Draymond Green and Baron Davis had a debate. Smitty, of course, was talking about the respect factor on the younger side. Anthony Davis, AD, some people call street clothes, I believe, got hit in the eye yesterday. And why do you have to leave?
He got elbowed in the eye. The eye is sensitive.
Oh,
he was up for a hot second. He was bleeding.
Oh my! You know how many times I broke my nose playing street basketball?
The game when you're bleeding.
You know how many times I got hit in street ball in the nose, broke it, bleeding, and then
there's no rules in street ball. In NBA, when you're bleeding, you have to leave the court.
Steve, I actually was cherry picking on the very next play.
Here this guy goes.
Bleeding nose. I mean, that's just what we are, Smitty. That's what we are. That's what you are.
Hold on, real quick for clarity. You're just upset that AD even reacted to getting hit in the eye. You're saying he shouldn't even have that react. He should have got elbowed in the eye and just kept going. Like, come on, Jason.
Come on.
He rather for 5 seconds, Steve. I don't get it.
Yeah.
It made the game winner.
Compare any current NBA player to Jack Youngblood or Ronnie Lott. That's a little unfair. Different game. You know.
That's before JB's time. JB didn't play that era.
I mean, the problem with what Draymond is saying is, Draymond, here's the difference in my view. It's not even a matter of respect. What the older generation says about the newer generations, I think, is much more accurate than the other way around. Well, when you have players today that say, well, those older guys didn't have skill. All right, well, who are we talking about? The Bob Cousy Peach Basket era? I mean, you might have a point, but by the time you get to the early 70s, the game had evolved. It had. Like, you watch Jerry West shoot the ball, Oscar Robertson handle it, Connie Hawkins, guys, Dr. J a little bit after that. They're making it sound like these guys were the Washington Generals for 30. That simply isn't true.
Yeah. I guess my whole, being devil's advocate, my whole argument yesterday, Steve, was just like, okay, listen, I grew up in an era where you always respect those who came before you. You always respect your elders. That's just automatically what you do, right? But to Draymond Green's point, at what point am I able to respond or say something back if I feel like the old heads, the OGs, are not respecting me and for what I've done? Because it's almost like JB almost put it out where the older players can say whatever they want to, and because you're younger, you got to just sit there and take it. At some point, like, all right, Draymond Green's a 4-time NBA champion, defensive player of the year, might win again this year. a guy who probably will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done, if I feel like I'm getting constant disrespect from the previous generation, I should be able to respond to that without it being necessarily disrespectful. So I can understand that point. Is all I'm saying. Whether we agree with what the words being said or not, Draymond can respond. He's not like some rookie who doesn't have a resume. He's a guy who, again, is probably be a future Hall of Famer. Why can't he respond to the OGs? That was my only argument.
Oh, he can respond, and people have the right to disagree. Is he a Hall of Famer?
Yeah, he is.
I don't think so.
He's a basketball Hall of Famer.
I don't believe so. We're just giving anybody the Hall of Fame then. Anybody can get in.
I'm trying to say he's a four. We already had this whole argument. He's like, I think he's a 4-time NBA All-Star, a Defensive Player of the Year. He's probably about to win another one this year. He's at least in the discussion, and a 4-time NBA champion. That's the resume of a Hall of Ben Wallace is the guy who's in the Hall of Fame, not because he has amazing stats, because of his impact on the championship team. That's all I'm trying to say, y'all. The Golden State Warriors are not who they are without Draymond. Say what you want. They're not.
I don't disagree, but
yeah, I want to put fuck.
Dennis Rodman is a Hall of Famer. His stats don't look amazing.
Well, hold on. Rodman was a different
His stats are horrible.
Times he led the league in rebounding, all defense, Defensive Player of the Year.
All defense, Defensive Player of the Year. Draymond has both of those. Rebounding,
we give it to many.
Playmaking ability, we give it to Draymond. Draymond's a better a playmaker than. So I'm saying there's pros and cons. Who has more All-Stars? Draymond. I looked all this stuff up, guys. I know we have a bias for our nostalgia and when we grew up, but I'm saying if we're going to say guys like Ben Wallace and Dennis Rodman, who are similar comps or are Hall of Famers, Draymond deserves that same thing. Y'all just don't like Draymond.
No, but you say it all the time, Smitty. Our eyes work too.
Yeah.
This guy's not a Dennis Rodman. Stop.
You know, but you're the same guy that used Draymond as your excuse for the 3-1 turnaround, right? You said, well, the only reason why LeBron was able to come back is because Draymond he got suspended for a game. Yeah. Well, if Draymond's such a bad player, then why would he have such an incredible impact on a 3-1 series?
I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's a bad player, but that's a hell of a loss, Smitty. If you lose a defensive guy, but that doesn't mean he's a Hall of Famer. Like, come on, Smitty. Let's put everybody in. Fucking Luke Walton needs to go in too. Fuck it. Jesus Christ. We put everybody in. Hey, Deion Sanders, your guy, who you love to death, said it best. We just put anybody in the Hall of Fame. Hall of Fame should be different. They should be a different type of person. Draymond Green's not a different type of person.
You know, it's funny you say that, Coach. My article today coming out on snack.com is about Terrence Crawford saying, well, Errol Spence is not a Hall of Famer, which got all the Spence fans upset. And then the Spence fans tried to say, well, Crawford's not a Hall of Famer. And I'm thinking, like hell he is. Like hell, if Crawford's not a Hall of Famer, there will never be another Hall of Famer. Crawford is a shoo-in.
What do you think?
I know
you think about Errol Spence.
Yeah.
Huh?
What's your opinion, though? Do you think Errol Spence is a Hall of Famer?
Borderline.
Okay.
He only has 29 fights, and in his one big fight, he got really beat up bad. Look, he's got a case for today's standards, and that's the real crux of my argument. Is in an era where fighters fight less, with 4 available titles and less big fights happening, the standards, as Coach would say, is watered down. But the Spence fans trying to make the argument, going over a fine-tooth comb over Crawford's resume, I'm thinking he's a 4-division champion. He's undisputed in 2 of them. He's been on the pound-for-pound list for about a decade. Top 3, if not 1, for about 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Give me a break. I don't care if he gets beat by Canelo in 30 seconds in September. He is a shoo-in, first ballot, permanent resident of Canastota a few years after he retires. And these people trying to argue with me, well, by my standards, man, I don't give a about your standards. He's in. Crawford is that automatic check mark off the box. Give me a break. I'm just telling you, Spence is the guy that a lot of people are going to have a problem with because he only fought in 1 division, which is fine. But generally within that division, you have to really dominate or become undisputed, like Marvin Hagler, 1 division guy. And also the way I asked this last night at dinner. do the wins matter in a resume for a boxer? And everyone said, of course. I said, okay. But does how you lose matter?
Ooh.
It's one thing to be Gennady Golovkin and have a fight with Canelo where 80% of the people thought you won, right?
Right.
Nobody thought Crawford lost to Spence. We all
That was
saw
a bad loss. I was there live. Whoo, and I was going for Spence. That was a bad
July
loss.
29, 2023. Terrence Crawford, he was the plumber because he shattered and splattered your pipe dreams.
I think he ended Spence's career. I don't know if Spence is going to fight again.
That's another thing. Spence may not fight again.
Yeah, I don't think he will, honestly.
The question then becomes, in 29 fights, did he do enough to get the check mark? I'm not saying
Shaun Porter fight was a hell of a fight. Ugas, when he did the Ugas's eye, I watched that fight. That was dominant. So
and that's a solid win.
That's a solid win, Steve.
Wins. Mikey Garcia, Danny
Mike
Garcia.
Like he got some good wins on his resume too now.
But
that Ugas honesty, I know you remember. You know what I'm talking about. His eye was like
that's
this.
The biggest, that's the worst argument I've ever heard from Spence fans.
What?
Well, if he's not a Hall of Famer, neither is Terrence.
Yeah, that don't make sense.
Want to bet? By the way, the fact that Terrence won that fight between them, that matters. That's part of the story.
Let me ask you this real quick: Is Shaun Porter a Hall of Famer?
No.
Okay.
Tough, hard-nosed guy, but I don't think so. No.
Hey, Steve, I don't know if it's watered down is the word as when regarding this conversation, but it's more of, I think mediocrity is the new excellence. I just think, social media, the push that mainstream media throws out there for certain people, I think it gets guys over the hump into the Hall of Fame when we're talking about this Hall of Fame thing.
And I wrote this in my article. I think the only guys right now in this current era that I think are for sure first ballot, no-brainer Hall of Famers. Obviously Crawford, Usyk, Inoue, Canelo. Bivol knocking on that door. I'd like to see him just do just a little bit more. But he's probably going to get in. I love Dimitri. But so those four right there to me, shoe-ins.
Tyson Fury, no?
No. Not really. I don't think he's a first ballot guy.
Okay, all right.
Is it because of the heavyweight? Is it because of the heavyweight competition during his era, or what?
All right, let's go through this. He beats Vladimir Klitschko. Good win.
It's a good win.
You know what he did for the first 2.5 years of his heavyweight title run in 2015 to about 18? He didn't fight.
Yeah.
Didn't fight.
That's
all
right.
So then when he wins, when he comes back, they go with this linear thing, which is a way of saying, I'm the champion, but I don't have to fight anyone good. All right. Historic trilogy. We'll finally remember it against Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder is a good heavyweight, very powerful, but one-dimensional. You look at his overall run and who he defended against. I don't know. I think Fury will eventually get in, but in my view, is he like the quartet of guys that I just mentioned, or even Bivol across the board? No, in my opinion, no.
Let me ask you something. And regarding, you said Inoue is a shoe-in.
He's a dog.
But here's the issue. Is it going to hurt him that he doesn't fight here, though, enough?
He's coming to Vegas in a couple weeks. Let's go to Vegas and go watch him.
I know. He's been here twice, Smitty, in his career. That's my point. Like, I'm just asking a question. I don't know.
Well, he's been here 3 times, but he was not at the statue. He's going to fight here May 3rd or May 4th. This is the International Boxing Hall of Fame. There's plenty of foreign fighters that most American sports fans have never heard of that are in. So that's not even a question.
He's so good that people like myself will set my alarm for 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning to watch him. That's how good he is.
His last
I get all that, and I trust Steve.
He's special, seriously. Like, he's special, JB.
Yeah, you two know more than me. I'm just asking. Yeah.
The last couple of years when he fights, and let's say his main event started around 3 to 5 a.m., he trends on Twitter. He actually trends, and Top Rank keeps track of it. Trust me, I have some of the data. He trends in that part of the morning. And I've also noticed this on my own tweets. When I put up a picture or a tweet or any news pertaining to him, it's not just getting 2 or 3 likes. Trust me, there's a spike. There's a spike anytime I mention him significantly. Any type of news, any type of update, a video, So Inoue's in. That's his kimono. One day will be hung on the rafters.
Kimono.
Hey, Steve, we'll see if Leonard Marshall, I don't know what's going on. We're trying to figure it out right now. If we can't get him on with you, we'll have to try another time. But before you get out of here, and we're waiting on Leonard, let me ask you something real quick. I know Bill Haney, the father, came out, and I guess he's got some beef going on with the Mexicans. I guess, yeah, with everybody. I guess now that there's like a huge, the Mexican boxing fan base that's coming at him for this whole discussion about the Ryan Garcia and the steroids and the PEDs and all this type of shit. Where you at with this whole take as far as what he's been saying and what's happening here?
This is what I don't understand. And putting aside your feelings for Bill or Devin, the last I checked, Ryan Garcia is the one that failed the drug test. Why are people convicting Devin Haney for it? Now, you can agree or disagree about the lawsuit and the way he did it. I've said from the beginning, I thought the Haneys mishandled that situation, that as soon as Ryan missed weight, by the way, on purpose, I would have said, time out. We're going to do a second day weigh-in. We're not letting you just blow up and do all this stuff because I had to sacrifice. I know what Devin goes through to make weight. It's not healthy for him. He really shouldn't be doing it, but he does it. And then you add on the PED. And this is all about false idolatry and being a jock sniffer. I get it. There's a cultural bias that a lot of people have. Let's make this clear. It is not Devin Haney that gamed and cheated the system. Doesn't mean you have to like Devin Haney. You can boo him all you want. He is not the perpetrator here. It's baffling. It is baffling to me.
No doubt.
That's a good point. And you mentioned a video earlier, JB, with Shushu Carrington calling out everybody after the fight. We do have that video here now.
My guy.
Let's go ahead and check it out.
Yeah, I want to get Steve's
Nick Ball. Yeah, I want that. WBC. Stephen Fulton. Yeah, I want that. Let's get this working, bro. Let's get this working. I want to fight all y'all. Let's get it. I'm top 10. I'm top 5 in all of the sanctioning bodies right now. Stop running. Stop playing. Let's get this work.
I like Shushu, man.
Hey, I don't know. All I saw in the comments, though, that they're saying he's leaving a certain person out of the conversation.
Rafael Espinoza, the tall guy.
Yeah.
He's freakishly tall. I actually had dinner with his trainer yesterday, Manny Robles. Here's the thing. He's number 1 in 2 of the sanctioning bodies, the BC and BO, and he's top 3 or 4 in the other 2. So he's on the verge of a doorstep of a title shot, and I spoke to him a little bit with the other members of the media after the fight, and he says, I want a title shot next. He's 28 years old. He's in the thick of his physical prime. Turned pro a little bit later than most guys nowadays. Highly skilled guy. He's one of the few guys that James Toney actually thinks has real skill. James does not pass out a lot of compliments to modern-day fighters, okay? But what I don't like is Stephen Fulton was going up on Twitter through the weekend saying, well, what's he done? What's he done to be number 1? Who's he fought? Hey, Fulton, it doesn't matter. You're the WBC champion. If he's number 1 and he's the mandatory, you have 2 choices. You can either vacate the title, move up, or fight him. It's not your job to look through his record and be the police. Okay, so if you don't want to fight Carrington because he's beneath you, dump the title. It's that simple.
That's simple.
I'm sick of this. It's ridiculous.
No doubt. Hey, Steve, we'll see if we get Leonard on before you got to get out of here. But let me ask you something real quick. In other news, I became a Howie Roseman fan a little bit more overnight. And I got to ask you, what Bailey, show the video. I want to see what he had to say, and I want to get Steve's take on this before he gets out of here if we can't get on Leonard.
For us, we have some objective things that I can't even overrule, and they're ours, but for one, like violence against women, it's just not for us, That doesn't mean so. It's like I won't even watch them. I don't even want to talk about it. It just is deal breakers for us. So I can't go, but he's really good and he did it 10 years ago and he learned from it. It just doesn't work for us.
I love it. Where are you at with this?
Now, who's he talking about specifically there, Coach?
He was just talking about anyone that's in the draft that has an issue or some sort of allegation pending, trending, or he did actually have some sort of assault on a woman or hit a woman.
So he said we stay away from those at all costs. That's what he's basically saying.
I mean, I get it. Look, Howie's good at his job. He is very good at his job. And I get the sense he's going to make a move or two because they had to let a lot of guys walk that were pretty productive for them last year.
Yeah.
And they seem to have mastered the art of letting players go a year too early rather than a year too late. But look, they still have a Super Bowl window. I look at that core group and I'm like, they're going to win another 12, 13 games and they're going to be a threat again. I'm just, even though they won the Super Bowl, I always look at what that guy does. He knows what he's doing.
Steve, here's the issue I have. Not issue I have, but here's why it's more impressive than a lot of folks may think. Most of the guys he's referring to, unfortunately, in the world of football, and I know firsthand, are the best players. Like, unfortunately, the shitbirds are the best. And for him to stay away from those type of guys
takes discipline.
And because remember, we have a Jalen Carter that he did take.
And that's my point. You can be a quote unquote shitbird without beating women. Like that's not your only way of falling in that category that you have.
So I guess, So I guess, I mean, I don't know.
You see what I'm saying? Like
DUI deaths are okay.
Production will always give you leash or not.
I guess
that's the world of pro football. Are you worth the hassle? If you're a Jalen Carter like player, you're worth the hassle.
Not to sneeze.
Did I say something?
Not to sneeze twice, back to back.
Oh, DUI. Steve, I guess DUI deaths are cool, but don't hit a woman. I mean, fuck, it is what it is. We all have our, peaks and valleys.
Well, again, but that's Jalen Carter. I mean, there is a sliding scale of morality throughout the whole world.
There is, Steve. Steve, before you jump out of here, I graded my guys. I graded my shitbirds. I'm gonna be honest. So if you left Alabama for credit card fraud, B grade. Come on over. Right. If you weed, it's an A. I'll take you. Right. Come on in.
I mean, you have to understand, like, you're not gonna win a lot of games with choir boys.
This ain't Stanford, homie. This ain't Stanford.
Yeah. All right. Shame on Andrew Luck, by the way. But anyway, yeah, it's a whole other thing. Steve, it looks like we won't get Leonard today. I'll try to get him on next week with you because I want to see that because I know you had some questions. If we do get him on, what's your number one question you wanted to ask him?
Bill Belichick.
Oh, I just wanted to personally thank him for just drilling Joe Montana the way he did. One of the 5 greatest hits of my lifetime as a frustrated LA Ram fan, who, by the way, I'm no longer a Ram fan. When they moved to St. Louis, they died to me. So I don't go around claiming 99 or that Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Really?
And I just remember watching that game thinking, wow, these assholes are going to three-peat. Life is terrible. But then when a hero comes along with the strength to carry on, oh, Leonard Marshall, a hero resided in you. That's one of the greatest hits I've ever. And he gave like a 4th effort. That should be in every defensive lineman's handbook on how you give a 2nd effort, a 3rd effort, a 4th effort. And that hit today would probably be flagged because it's too damn violent. But I mean, the 2 hardest hits I've ever seen on Joe Montana were delivered by the Giants. It was Jim Burt in the 86 divisional playoffs and then the 1990 championship game. People say, can Bill Belichick coach? Because they always say it's Tom Brady. Guys, there was one team in the 80s that always gave Bill Walsh and that offense problems. It was Belichick.
Yep.
It was absolutely
even his Cleveland team. Even his Cleveland team, Steve.
I'm telling you, Belichick and Parcells used to give that. Even when the Niners would win, it'd be like a 10-3 game.
Mm-hmm.
Or they'd have to hit some deep shot where they blew a coverage. But outside of a game in 84, from 85 all the way till about 90, the Giants used to just absolutely give that great offense fits. And it wasn't just about Lawrence Taylor. It was about what they did on the back end. And that 1990 Giant team, I still say that Bill Parcells did the best job of coaching I've ever seen because that team did not have their quarterback. Sims got injured. They had an old O.J. Anderson. They had the run. And Lawrence Taylor was a little bit past his prime. It's the best pure job of coaching I think I'll ever see in my lifetime.
No doubt. It was great. I say it all the time. Steve, I'll let you know today about Saturday. If you're down still, let me know. I'm going to find out because it's supposed to be nice. So I might be on the yacht and a jet ski this weekend. I'm not sure. But if not,
let me know. We'll talk, guys. Have a great weekend.
All right,
Steve. Appreciate it. Smitty, I want to address something in the chat real quick. I want to talk to the folks out there that want to ask a question to Smitty or I. Okay. And I want to explain how you do so. Because we know a lot of you in the private chat are condescending, and a lot of you would wish on our demise if you could, real quick. But Big Jim Slade, I know that you're a fucking shitbird, and I know that you are a troll, and I know that you're an absolute nobody. So I want to address everybody on how to ask questions. So Jim did ask a question, but knowing Jim and his character, I know he's a fucking absolute shitbird and a bitch. The way he asked this is a clear condescending question. So he said, didn't you coach that kid that punched a girl in a bar? Now, let me explain to everyone out there how you should have asked. Because this is an insinuation that I did do it. See how that works? I know the context. What you should have said was, hey, coach, not sure or not if it was you, not trying to be a shitbird or a troll, but did you coach the kid that punched the girl in the bar at Florida State? That's how you should have asked it, Jim. But since this is how you asked it, you're a bitch. And no, that wasn't me. Because as I said, I didn't take motherfuckers that hit women. Haven't I said that for years and years and years? And I have the proof in the pudding. And I've never taken a kid that's hit a woman. So you should already know that, Jim Slade. And if you did a quick Google search, you would see that kid never played for me. It's not hard to find out. And you're a pussy. You're a bitch. And this is what you want. This is what you wanted. You wanted me to coach him after what I say and what I don't. You wanted me not to stand on business. That's what the problem is. But no, I'm a real one. And I'm always going to stand on business. And no, I didn't fuck with people that hit girls. So no, that's not me that had them. You fucking cowardly cunt. So anyway, moving
and to
on.
add on to that, all the haters who keep saying, who's trying to put together a petition to get Smitty off the show, I'm not going anywhere. So you might as well get comfortable with me being here. Get comfortable.
Hold on. There's a petition?
Yeah, there's a lot of people in there talking about get Smitty off the show or else. We don't care about y'all that much. I'm gonna be real with you. You leave, another fan will come in and replace you, homie. The subscribers go up every single day. The members go up every single day. The views go up every single day. The money goes up every single day.
I'm glad you brought that up. You know what I don't get? The fact that the bottom feeding cowardly fucks don't understand and don't realize that we are trendsetters.
Yeah.
I don't think people really have a macro level of thinking when it comes to this.
They don't.
99% of your shows out here are two cats on a show agreeing with each other 1,000% of the time, and it makes for a show that is super PC and super politically correct, and everybody follows them because they know everything's going to come out of the show. It's just going to be right or left, and it's going to be straight, streamlined, and it's going to be gray area, and it's going to have all the things you think you want to hear. We give you shit that you don't think you need to hear, but we're going to give it to you anyway because we don't care. This is a absolute water, oil, fire, whatever you want to say. This is what makes a great show. Like, we are actually trendsetters. Hopefully we'll change the dynamic in the country and stop this fucking divide and actually say, hey man, two cats can have barbershop banter, argue, fight, talk shit, and then still be able to do a show together every single day. I don't understand why is that so hard to grasp. I think we're breaking the barrier.
Because you talk about it all the time. We live in an era today. Shout out to Robo and Mojo. Shout out, he's a real one. He always showing love. But we live in a time now where you have to pick sides. He's mixed. You gotta pick sides in everything. So you're either Team JB or you Team Smitty. And whatever side that you're against, you always against them and you hate that side. You're the Republican or you Democrat. And the other side is 100% wrong. I hate them. You black or you white. And I'm against everything the other person does. There's no teamwork. There's no coming together in any facet of life. And we see it even on this show. So I don't care. I'm just letting people know that for all the people who want me gone, it's not gonna happen. Like every time y'all say it, it's another year I'm gonna stay. So like right now, I'm at 25 years now.
God damn.
So the
Hopefully
next 25 years, if y'all still alive, I'm gonna be on this show. So
might just be you then by then.
Yeah, at that point. Yeah, exactly. So
Smitty show.
You know, and Gene, my guy Gene said, I don't agree with Smitty on anything, but I love Big Man. I respect that, homie.
No, not on one thing.
Not like anything, no matter what I say. 2 + 2 = 4. He disagrees.
But I've seen Gene actually agree with you though.
Well, he said he don't. And then my guy Joe Core said, I personally like Smitty. Not personally. I personally like Smitty. Even when he threw me under the bus. You threw my family under the bus when you didn't warn me about the damn tornadoes last night, Joe Court.
That's saying a lot. See, we're changing the world right now.
Yeah, this is impactful, homie. This is impactful what we doing.
Grandmaster Wu, when he says it, because he don't like you at all.
Yep. Look, even this guy, this random guy, F.A., Smitty ain't shit sometimes, but that's my guy. See, like we're really changing the dynamic. You know what? This is the perfect time before we take a commercial break to go ahead and just lock the doors on this show and don't allow anybody to go anywhere and pass around this collection bucket. Because right now we have almost 4,000 people in this show. And if everybody gave just $1,000 donation, which we all have, we're not broke on this show, $1,000 donation times 4,000 people. You know what that would do for us? That would put us at $40,000, and that would change the game of this show. So Bailey,
well, your math's not very good. Your math's not very good. Because that would not be 40,000 people. That would be 40 people giving $1,000 would be 40,000 people. That would be $400,000.
I'm trying to trickle so he can get the 40,000.
How about 4,000 people? Everyone on Twitter and in the show. I think there's 1,400 people in the show. Just give $5. What's the math, Smitty?
5 times what?
4,000.
Well, 4 times 5 is 20. So you add the zeros, 0, 0, 0, 20. That's $20,000.
I mean, it's $20,000. You get $50.
So I can use that 50 too. I need some gas in my car.
Yeah. Leonard Marshall, the legend, had some technical issues. He is going to hop on though, and we'll get a good 15 minutes with him if we can.
Oh, when?
Right here in a couple seconds, apparently.
Oh, seconds? Okay.
Or minutes. I don't know. You got to do something. You got to run. Break. You got to run real quick.
No, I don't have to run, but I know.
Let's take one real quick then.
Yeah.
And then Bailey, see if you can figure it out. Let us know. We'll be back in, let's say, 3 minutes. And Leonard Marshall, legendary New York Giant, will come on. Hopefully, with us. If not, we'll table him to another day. But let's see if we can get him.
And who we got at 8:30?
Yeah, we got a special guest on, another motivational speaker, SEC former Florida player, disabled player. Now he's I believe in a wheelchair.
Okay.
Patrick Young joins the show, so we'll have him at 8:30. Yeah. So we'll be back in about 3 minutes. Stay tuned.
Savannah's Bananas baseball team that does all the dancing. The Savannah Bananas baseball team that does all the dancing. Coach JB, just react to this, man, and kind of give you a take on why so many people watch this. They're one of the more popular, sports teams. Almost like the Harlem Globetrotters for baseball is how I would compare it. And very popular. People love them. They literally sell out crowds, make a lot of money. A lot of these guys actually played, I think, baseball at some point for real, like maybe in college or whatever. Now they kind of do this thing for fun. But what's your take? Why do you think so many people actually like them? Hey, baby. Good morning.
Go back to his name. Rewind. Go back. Rewind it. Right there. Pause it. Go back to his name, Bailey. Let me see his last name. Let me see that right there. That's why. Because he sucks cocks. Because he's a gay. This is gay. Suck cocks. That's why. He has the perfect last name. The fuck are we doing here, homie?
You a homophobe, homie.
The fuck are we doing? God damn. Oh, hell no. You fucking shitting me. You would not go see this fucking in real life. Stop the cat. Tell me right now, truth or lie. Would you go see this?
I don't watch baseball like that.
You wouldn't go see. Just keep it. Smitty's so good at this media shit. Like, you all talk that shit, and he always wants to fluff me. Fluff me. He's good at this, homie. He knows how to be so mainstream corporate. I can't wait to get him out of there. I gotta be honest. I can't wait to get him out and do it.
I still ain't gonna be you. That's what makes our show great, though, in my opinion. If we were the exact same,
you'll be a little different. Like, you might have just been like, nah, JV, that's a little too gay for me. Like, you might have said that. You might say that one day.
You're
like,
crazy, man.
Like how Smitty said, like, yeah, I don't like baseball like that. Like, he skipped over the mirrors and the cocks and all that shit. He skipped over all that shit.
I'm a bad boy, homie. I'm a bad boy, homie.
You know how to do it. Like, you know how to play the game.
The chat, like, they so micro, like, thinkers. They're so simple-minded that they don't even catch all the little shit I be doing.
Oh, I know. Yeah, no. I'm so good in advance in this space because I have the it factor again, because I don't have to watch Laker games. I know everything about the game last night.
Hey, this slap dick Jason said, "Oh, hell no." He started singing. Oh, hell no. That's one of the funniest things you said in the last 6 months.
You like that commercial, huh?
That's just one of the funniest things you said in the last 6 months. It's like the build up to that point was just hilarious, homie.
You like that commercial, though?
What you talking about? I like everything about our show.
No, that commercial.
I like everything about our show. That's a part of our show.
Yeah, but I'm saying you like that commercial in particular a lot more than a lot of.
I feel like you're doing some weird stuff right now, so I'm not even gonna react to that. Because growing up, like, I would slap somebody for even doing what you're doing right now. You the homie though, and I'm grown. So
what am I doing?
You doing some? I know what you're doing, homie. I'm macro. I know what you're doing.
No, real shit. I'm asking you. You like that particular commercial? Oh, you think I'm doing something? Nah, I'm not doing nothing like that. No. What I meant was, if you like that commercial, I hate it.
Oh, okay. I thought you was on some different.
Nah. I wasn't on no Saunders shit.
Excuse me. Clear my throat. Question from the chat, real quick, before we keep it going. JB, would you rather have a terrible QB and excellent O-line, or an excellent QB and a terrible O-line? This question is coming from member F.A. Scott in Mockport. F.A. Ogane Scott in Mockport is his full name.
An excellent quarterback makes a bad O-line good.
There it is. Mike Coates didn't have the best O-line for at certain years with Peyton Manning, but when you get that ball out so quickly, the best protector is a quarterback with great decision-making skills. You know what I'm saying? That quarterback gets the ball out quick.
Smitty, I gotta ask you, there's two things going on here in the world that I wanted to address real quick before our guest comes on, if we can get him. Number one is we are now celebrating some of the most, I don't know what to say, what the word is, asinine things and craziest shit I've ever seen in my life.
All right.
We had a dude acting as if he was not only a dog, he said he was a transgender dog. And he got into a dog pose and rolled over in front of a guy that acted as if he was the dog trainer.
Yep.
And then the crowd erupts.
You're lying, homie. There's no way this is real. I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. I'm not gonna believe it until I see it. So I know there's a finger up behind the scenes telling us to hold on 1 second. There's no way what you're saying is true. I'm envisioning what you're saying. There's no way that's right. That's real. Hold on, homie. Hold on, homie. When he did the spin and then he went down like this, homie. I'm gonna show y'all where, if you can pause it. Right here, right here, right here.
That's what got the clap go.
You said what? Homie, he face down, ass up. Like Ash sitting like that right now watching the show.
Why does it say trans dog competes?
Completes perfect role.
Completes perfect role. No, but I was reading earlier. It said the trans dog competes in this thing. No, I'm saying
another. Yeah, there's
no
way.
Like, the header. Yeah.
Listen, all right. I gotta hope that people are just trying to like troll this, and they're just
no, it's packed. It's a packed place.
No, I know. I'm saying there's no way this is what this really is. It can't be like what I'm saying. People can take a video and like caption it whatever way they want to caption it. So I'm saying I'm praying and hoping.
No, you see the cat really what's going
on.
You see the cat. It's not pumped in. It's not pumped in fake or not. Listen, King David, I'm talking about the real actual post of this. Says trans dog competes in dog roll competition. I understand this says trans dog completes perfect role. I'm giving you context, you fucking morons. So anyway, listen, Smitty. Are you in agreement now? This is why the Democrats lost the election?
No, I'm not. I don't think this is the reason. What I'm saying is I need to deep dive into this. It's
a big reason, Smitty.
I'm saying this video was real, of course.
No,
but I'm saying I need to talk to this trainer and get complete 100% clarity.
You don't want to talk to him.
Actually training a human to be a trans dog. What I'm saying is there's a world where someone could take this video. Maybe this is like some sort of wrestling role or something. I don't know. And he's just doing that. And someone took the video and put a funny caption over the top. That's what I'm actually hoping that's the case. I'm hoping this ain't true. Because if this is true, we in a bad spot, homie. We in a bad spot, homie, if this is true.
We've been telling you that, Smitty. We are in a bad spot, homie. We been, homie.
Who's we, though? I'm just curious on the we. The whites? The whites?
No, not really. We. Like we've been telling you. What?
I don't know what else to say. Let's get all the BS out right now for any guest. So we got 12 minutes to talk about whatever we want to talk about.
All right.
Anything at all.
In other news, I don't understand California.
Oh, damn. I saw that. I was hoping you didn't see this like yesterday. I be seeing certain stuff sometimes. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to send this to Bailey or JB.
What part? What part are you talking about?
All right, go ahead, go.
As far as the rule, AB 39 or whatever?
I think so.
About boys and girls sports?
Yeah, I knew you. I figured you saw it.
How does a state like this shoot that down, though? Like, I don't understand. You got to be a demonic human being, homie. Like, I just don't understand. But that's not even where I wanted to go with this, Smitty.
Where you gonna go with it?
I don't know if Bailey has it or not, but there was a fencing competition.
Like with the sword?
Yeah.
Have
you seen it? Yeah, have you heard about this?
No, I haven't. Fencing is kind of gangster, though. Because, like, you stabbing each other. That's kind of gangster. Let me see what's going on. They're doing it right. Look like Luke Kane. Or was that a girl? Let me see. I was a dude. He looked like Luke Cage from Mortal Kombat.
No, that's a girl.
On the right? I can't tell as a girl or a dude with good hair.
Smitty, this is a female competition.
Oh, hold on. So the person on the left is really a dude. Okay, I got it. It's a trans girl. So the real girl on the right is taking the knee saying, I'm protesting going against you because you're not a born female. Okay, I see what's going on. I understand that and respect it, and so at some point it's like this is a safety issue as well. And I saw something too yesterday. It's probably an old video. It was like a track competition though. It was a trans girl doing the long jump and was head and shoulders above everybody else. Like whoever second place was, it was like the gap was this big. So at some point, it's like, hey y'all, it's just common sense. Like, come on, it's not fair.
I want to know why. I want to know why earlier on the show, and I'm saying, why are we doing a youth LGBTQ camp? Youth. And then I want to know why people in the comment section and other people are using the word, finally, kids are waking up. Why are we trying to put this on kids, homie? Why do the kids need to wake up? Like, where the fuck is the adult in the room? And I'm going to give you a little context. For whoever allows this, I would absolutely, I'll be honest, man. I'm over it, dog. Like, I could not be more truthful when I say you can all disappear. Like, I really can't. And I've seen Marcellus Wiley's wife, on Instagram yesterday talking about the California rule that didn't pass to keep boys out of sports. I hope Donald Trump absolutely obliterates California and stops money coming in federally, just like he did in Maine, which got her to shut the hell up, the governor there. I hope he does it to Newsom. And I'm here in California, and I know we'll get hit for it. That's the truth of the matter, though, dog. Sometimes it takes a very, very harsh sacrifice to change. And I'm telling you, dog, it is just most of us in California, contrary to belief out there to the public that's not here in California, we're not these weirdo fucks. We don't want this. Like, that's what you don't understand. It is a demonic leadership group that does it. And that's the problem.
Y'all, there's a lot of people who vote Democrat who don't agree with this either, though. I'm going to be real with y'all. I think all the Democrats are just, trust me, there's a lot of people who not that to that level. So,
Hey, real quick, by the way, just for context, before we have our special legendary guest joining us real quick, and we won't keep too much of his time because he's been swamped and he's rolling around. But just so you know, the woman took a knee because that guy that's now acting as a woman is also the man's champion just a year ago.
You lying.
No, I'm not lying. So that's the context. But anyway, let's get our main man, New York Giant extraordinaire, legendary NFL player. Can't thank him enough for joining us, and we probably can't ask him enough questions in the time we get him. Our main man, our legend, Leonard Marshall, joins the show, man.
Yeah.
Leonard,
hey, good morning, guys.
Good morning. It's an honor.
Appreciate you, man. It's an honor.
Fellas.
Honor to have you.
Nice to meet you all.
You too, brother. You too.
As well.
Hey, Leonard, we had a guy, a huge fan of you, who comes on our show every other day, Steve Kim, who had to run, but he's a huge fan. He wanted to thank you personally for the hit you laid on Joe Montana. So, thank you.
You can tell Steve I'm very sorry about this morning. I got tied up with work, but you know what? I sincerely appreciate that.
Nah, no doubt, brother. No doubt. So what do you got going on nowadays, man? What's your daily routine going? You got a business? You got anything you're doing for anybody?
Oh, man, I'm doing too much. I just signed a deal with a group called Tunnel to Towers. You probably heard of Tunnel to Towers. It's in support of Steven Siller and his family. It's directed and run by his brother, Frank Siller, here in New York. Tunnel to Towers provides money and assistance to families that are first responders and those that are suffered a severe loss in 9/11. We're in the process of creating a campaign with ShopRite grocery stores in New Jersey to sell bags to bag gun violence and curb gun violence in urban areas and throughout the city. So, I'm looking forward to that deal. Currently, I work with a team at UBS, probably the number 2 largest bank in the world, and I'm having a good time. I'm getting acclimated. I'm a trusted advisor at UBS. I'm going through the process of getting my Series 65 and 55 to work as a full registered representative, registered investment advisor. I transitioned from Rockefeller Capital Management, where I worked for 2 years, and I just created an NFL license business with a group here in New York that are also doing Major League Baseball. So I'm busy.
Man, it's incredible what you're doing. Like, you're having true impact, and not only you're giving back to the everyday folks, you're giving back to first responders, you're getting your financial literacy, knowledge behind, in terms of UBS and getting your, working on getting that RIA. It's like every area of life you're finding ways to have impact. So shout out to you.
Hey, Leonard, let me ask you something. You meant, go ahead. No, I was going to ask you, you talk about these things. Like, I talked to Eddie George and some other NFL guys and that before they got into the coaching world, they were talking about after their career. Number one is like health and body, right? A lot of us, especially when you're a lineman and you're heavy and you get out and you lose all this weight like Mark Schlereth and a lot of these other guys have done when they get into the media. The other ones talk financial literacy. How important are those two things? Because a lot of we've seen too many young folks die after their careers because of health. And then we see a lot of financial illiteracy going on. And a lot of guys after the NFL career is over are bankrupt or broke or what have you. You're touching on both of those areas. How important is that?
It's very important. It's extremely important to manage those two things and manage them well. The third is to manage your family and the affairs of your family. So the biggest thing for me when I left football was I wanted to be able to hit the ground running. So I went back to school and got my education while playing for the Giants, to be honest with you. I got my undergrad degree in 91 after our second Super Bowl against the Bills from Fairleigh Dickinson University. Then I went back to work on myself at Seton Hall University and worked on my MBA there while teaching at Seton Hall University in the Stillman School of Business. So it's always been a work in progress with me. That's the one thing that I could tell young players. Always be willing to invest in yourself. Always be willing to continue to grow. Never stop growing. Never stop growing your concerns and things that are near and dear to your heart. And the third thing is to manage that health, because without health, there is no wealth.
Ooh.
Whatever you saved, whatever you made, whatever you tried to accomplish, without that health, brother, you're not gonna get anywhere.
Man,
no doubt.
You are a preacher right now. I got one more question on that before we kind of dive into like all your football greatness. Who was your mentors? Like, because a lot of players I talk to, they have struggles with that transition from football. A lot of people they identify who themselves as a football player, and once that's gone, it's hard for them to figure out life without it. It seems like you're someone who had a plan even while you were still playing and winning championships, where you were still thinking about life after the game. I guess, where did you get that knowledge? Was there a mentor or a head coach or someone who helped guide you?
Man, I'm going to be honest with you. I pay homage to a lot of people. I think one of the guys that really did it for me early on was the general manager of the Giants, George Young. I think George Young took a liking to me and surrounded me with good people that could nurture, guide, and help me to transition into becoming the player I became. He introduced me to a gentleman by the name of Joe Goldberg back in the day, who took a group of young black players that were on the New York Giants and infiltrated them with a veteran team of New York Giants and said, you know what, we're going to be one of the first teams to resourcefully show players how to transition and then give them a platform, and by which they can use their platform for football to help them transition into life. And between Joe Goldberg, Merrill Best, Bill Parcells, Bill Belichick, Warren Colbert, Craig Polite, my psychologist, a number of different people, man, touched my life early on. And I'm proud of who they helped to build and become, being a dad of two, having a son that's an attorney, who graduated from Georgetown University, the top 3% of his class. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of my daughter, who's now working in the fitness industry in New York City, and doing her thing on her terms. And those are things that should be important to players, and they've been important to me. I mean, I can if I'm talking to a young guy now, think about what I'm saying, because as long as you're green, you'll continue to grow. It's when you think you're ripe and know it all, you'll begin to run.
Hey, Leonard, that's
quote of the day right there.
You're actually proving my point from a yesterday conversation about respect. So I appreciate you coming on here and proving all the Draymond Greens out there wrong. But anyway, let me ask you something, Leonard. Let's go right into this. I got to ask you, you mentioned some legends, Belichick and Parcells, obviously. And I got to ask you, that defense you had with Belichick on that side of the ball, shutting down some great Buffalo Bill teams and some other teams, obviously, that will help you win some Super Bowls. How important were guys like Belichick, who's still coaching, by the way, now in college, so he's coaching youngsters, and Parcells, obviously. You had two legends. How important was that in what you do? Because I think leaders create more leaders, not more followers. And everything you just explained, your daughter's success, everyone under you's success, is clearly from a leadership standpoint, and you've created some great leaders yourself. So how important is that, being those two guys, under those two guys?
I'm going to grab something from Nick Saban, guys. Nick Saban talks about this all day long. If you watch his videos on what do you want to call it, Instagram or TikTok or any one of these things, he talks about the theory of nothingness. He talks about the theory of nothingness and what that means. And Belichick and Parcells put that in perspective in my heart as a player early on in my career. If you wake up every day, what do you promise? Nothing. You go out there and rest on your laurels and think you're going to get better. But if you don't put it in, you can't expect it out to get it out. So at the end of the day, when you come home, you look at yourself in the mirror and say, what did I accomplish? If you didn't put it in and you didn't give your best, what do you got? You got nothing. You go to the bank that afternoon and you check into the bank and say, you know what? What did I do and what did I put into being the best version of myself I can be? And if you didn't do that, then who do you have to blame? Nobody but yourself, because you really invested nothing. So please be looking to improve your life is what most of these guys have taught me and taught several of those guys that were on these great teams I played on. Belichick will go down, there's no doubt, as one of the greatest and the brightest minds in football. A friend of mine is writing a book with him right now with Tom Brady, a gentleman by the name of Gary Myers, who has become a real dear and near friend to me. And we talk about this all the time. We talk about the greatness of a Belichick, the greatness of a Parcells. They're trees. They're trees of coaches that have coached underneath them and have gone on and become successful. So like that, most of their players have become that way. There's just a couple of knuckleheads along the way that fell off the wagon. But, I can tell you this. There are more guys on the success side than there are on the failure side.
Man, that's huge, man. That's some real good knowledge as well. I want to ask you, staying on the topic of Bill Belichick, there's always, it's been talk as far as like who deserves more credit, Bill Belichick, Tom Brady, when it comes to the Patriots' success. But I want to ask you, someone who was coached directly by Belichick, him in his younger years, like what really defined Belichick's greatness? What was it about his coaching style? What was it about him that made him different than other coaches?
His ability to connect with players. He takes the things that you do the best and he exploits them. In my case, the Giants drafted a guy who was a tweener in myself, a guy who could play defensive tackle, who could play defensive end, who could defend the run, who could rush the passer. And he just needed to have a system and a group of guys around him that could actually play. And he helped them play to a certain level. Man, he exploited me big time. And I love everything we did together.
Hey, Leonard, I got to ask you, man. I go down and I got to meet LT a couple times now at a couple of events, and got to speak and got to sit down with him. And as a youngster, he was my idol. You, him, Big Bert, all you guys that were dominant up front for so long. I looked at that team and I was like, man, how good or different was LT when you looked at him and what he did, is the ability to drop, ability to pass rush, ability to do all the things he did at that time. I thought later on there was other guys that came along that emulated his style, but I don't know if there's ever been an LT. He's like a Deion Sanders on the edge at corner. I thought he was a transcending player. Was that team just so loaded that he got to expose folks because of how good you guys were at other spots, or was he just that damn good?
It's a combination thereof. I mean, Lawrence was an exceptional player. You know, the things that he and I did together were amazing. I mean, Bill Belichick designed the right side of our defense with 3 Hall of Famers, by the way, Harry Carson, myself, and he. And you know, the weak side of most quarterbacks, they had to deal with the 3 of us. And you know, Lawrence was an exceptional player, man. I've never seen a guy that could do the things that he could do in the course of a ball game with the same intensity and the same speed and endurance. As the years went on, you know, things you kind of saw a change in him, but you know, you never got his worst in a game. You always got the best he could give you, whether he was in tune to it or not. And he played at a high level, guys. He played at a high level. He elevated everybody's game on our team.
Man, that's special. Let me ask you this. You mentioned, you know, you won 2 Super Bowls during your time with the Giants. Does one of those Super Bowls mean a little bit more to you? You know, is it a specific memory or anything that comes from, you know, either one of those wins that just sticks out more, or any reason that one of those might mean a little bit more to you?
The 86 team was special. The 86 team was a mixture of guys from the 70s, guys from the 80s, and a couple of guys that we drafted in 86. We drafted a hell of a group of guys in 86 guys. We drafted 5 guys that ended up playing in the game on defense for us. Eric Dorsey, Eric Howard, Mark Collins, Pepper Johnson, and Greg Lasker. And all those guys contributed to our success that year. But 1990 was a different group of guys, because 90% of our pass rush was held out a camp in training camp. Lawrence and I held out the whole training camp. We didn't come back to join the team until the last week of preseason football. And everybody doubted whether or not we could do it again. You know, we win 10 games with Phil Simms, and then we lose Phil, and then we bring the quarterback, Costello, and Jeff takes us to the Super Bowl. You know, we give him everything we could give him on defense as a football team, but he takes us to the Super Bowl. So we beat the best team in football, a team that 49ers. We proved that we belong to play with them, and we were better than them. And whether they want to realize it or not, we were better than them. We were more physical, more tenacious, and more relentless in terms of our play. So the 90 team is very special, just as well as the 86 team. If I was to pick my druthers, I'd probably say 86 because of the mixture. But the 90 team was very resilient. The 90 team was very resilient, guys.
Now I gotta ask you this one more follow-up. Oh, I'm sorry, sir. One more follow-up, JB.
That's a good one here.
How did y'all celebrate that 90 championship? That's after the second Super Bowl. Y'all at the top of the world. Can you walk us through what was the team celebration like post game?
We had just stopped the team from a 3-peat, and we were a team that wasn't supposed to be there. We go in and we.
I think we lost him.
He was giving us that real good story too. He said we had just beat them. We went to the club. He was about to give us that real deal story. That might have been just God right there, just kind of saving the situation. Though, who knows?
Yeah. It's unfortunate that I appreciate all of them guys driving and calling in. Just stay safe, man. Shit.
Please stay safe.
The issue. I wanted to just ask him what he thought about the Giants draft in number 3. And that was it, and get him out of there. But we'll see.
One thing he mentioned though, that he did mention that himself and LT both held out all the training camp, and this happened in the 90s. So I just want to throw that out there.
They did it for a reason.
Been going on for a very long time. Holding out did not just start with my generation. I want to throw that out there. But what
No,
do
I
know?
never said holding out was your generation.
What do I know? These players today so soft, get all this money and want to hold out and sit around and this, that, and there. Back in my day, they never held out.
But I never said.
But I digress.
Out. I never said holding out was your generation. What I said was demanding a trade is your generation. Don't get it twisted, homie. Ask Leonard if he demanded a trade.
He's moving the flag, but he's moving the ball. I love it, homie. But it looks like I got Patrick Young was in here, just jumped out. I know he was driving as well, had his lunch, and I don't know the timing. Maybe we can get a little message over to him, Bailey. Again, let him know what the situation is. I don't know if he responded to you, but I know he was waiting in the background. See if we can try to get him back in here. Motivational speaker, athlete.
We got him. Let's bring him in real quick. So
let's do it.
Man, our main man, Florida Gator Hooper, legendary. He's an SEC analyst and he's a motivational speaker. Can't wait to hear from our main man, Patrick Young, joins the show. Pat, what up, brother? How you doing?
Nice to meet you.
What's going on, guys? How y'all doing? Good morning.
Hey, man, stay safe, man. I know we had a Leonard Marshall Super Bowl champ joining us, and he was driving, and he had some technical difficulties.
Yeah,
apologize
that was
for
cool.
getting you on late, man. Yeah, man, no doubt. I appreciate you joining in real quick, man. Hey, listen, real fast. When did you play at Florida as a hooper?
2010 to 14.
Okay, got you. Yeah, you guys knocked out my Bruins, man, a few years prior to that on those great teams that went on.
I think we beat them. We beat them my freshman year in the tournament, and we beat them my senior year in the tournament. We had the Bruins twice.
Oh, nice.
Sorry, JB.
Yeah. Hey, you guys are in it again, man. Final Four, 1 seed, playing your SEC rival Auburn. I picked Florida to play Houston in the championship. I think you guys have the best backcourt. Where you at with your Gators? They got a shot to win this whole thing?
They got a shot to win the whole thing. I think Duke, on my show, we've been talking about it. Is it better if Florida wins to match up against Duke or Houston? And I think against Duke. Houston, man, talk about a team that is going to enforce their will, their style of play, the pace of the game is going to go their style. Like no one can. They are the number one defensive team. So you would just think with Duke, there can be some more up and down, as there should be with Auburn on Saturday. Some more up and down, a more balanced approach to that game being won. Both teams are going to need to make plays on the defensive end. Both teams need to take care of the ball. How are you going to stop Janai Broom? He's like a bird with his wing clipped right now, but I don't know. Like I'm very curious. I don't know. All the painkillers in the world can't make a hyperextended elbow pain just go away. I know that for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm curious to see that one. So what do you do now? You motivational speak? Are you headed? Do you do that to like companies, businesses? I know I was in that space for a hot minute after Netflix, and I was going around to different sales teams, marketing teams, Ice Cube's Big Three, a few other folks. Are you in the company business, or are you individual basis, team basis? Where are you at with your speaking?
Well, I'm an individual, my own. I don't have an agent or any of that type of stuff. But I'm at the point now where I can start saying no to some opportunities. So that's
nice.
That's a blessing, especially when you want to have balance in your life, and everything you're saying yes to is a win. You feel like it's a win for you and a win for that company, school, organization, whatever. So I still occasionally will do some stuff for free, just because it's something that has such a great mission, or it's local, or something like that. But for the most part, yeah, man, I feel like I've really gotten myself into a pretty solid space as a speaker.
Nice.
Yeah, and real quick, again, thanks for joining us, man. It's honor to have you on
sure.
here. For our fan base as well, can you kind of share with them a little bit of your story and what led you to going into this space of being a motivational speaker?
Yeah, good point. So to your listeners, that to get more details, you can just Google search. There'll be stories that pop up, but obviously there's nothing that compares to hearing it from the horse's mouth itself, right? So as you know, I was a high-level athlete, University of Florida, NBA, overseas for about 6 years overseas. And after I, injuries sidelined my career, which I would have had a long career, which I still be playing now. 33 years old. I got in a car accident in 2022 that left me paralyzed from the waist down. And really, as you can imagine, going from being this high-level athlete to someone that's now like not able to do anywhere close to the same amount of things. How do you rebuild yourself and rebuild your life? And I think for me, there's a lot of factors that pour into it. For me personally, it's my faith. I'm not saying that is a requirement for going through really hard things, but that's what worked for me. Helped me to find hope and just this belief that there's a purpose behind what I'm going through. And with that mindset, I would say in these last almost 3 years, June 29th will be the 3-year anniversary of my accident. Wow. I would say there's been more impact in my life towards other people in these last 3 years than the first 30 years of my life. And I have no regrets in saying that. Obviously, I wish I could be saying that in the circumstances weren't as extreme. But hey, man, I'm in the game.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So I'm not gonna complain about being in the game. Just give me the ball. That's it.
I love it, and real quick for you jump back in, JB. I love your mindset. Like even again, this is our first time even meeting, but I feel like I'm a good reader of people and just energy, and you just have a spirit of just positivity. Like,
I appreciate that.
You're not out
Thank
here
you.
like looking for like people to feel sorry for you or like a victimhood mentality. You're like, hey, it is what it is. I kept it pushing, and my life in some ways, a lot of ways, have been even better. Like there's some positive that have kind of came with this storm. So this one is shout out you for having that mindset, because that's I can only imagine how tough that is. Yeah.
No, that's why guys, it's so important for us, especially as men, just having like great relationships around us, because sometimes you need people to pull you out of the mud, right? Yeah. And vice versa. So those people that run away when things aren't going well in your life, those are the ones that you probably don't need around as much.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, no doubt. I gotta ask you something that a lot of people may not ask you, which is tough, because I used to talk to like one of my former mentors was a Olympic wheelchair hooper back in the day. So they started that thing back when I was a freshman in high school. I played at a high school with Ed and Charles O'Bannon. Number one team in the nation that went on and won UCLA titles. Yeah. And so I grew up with a lot of hoopers in that space. A lot of people I had to guard, from Baron Davis to Jock Vaughn and Mark Mattson. I had to guard all them dudes getting killed as a football player.
And they all gave you work too, by the way. Not to cut you off. They all gave you work.
Yeah. He said it. You ain't have to double down.
Yeah.
He said he was getting that work. Yeah. He's not denying it.
Yeah,
I want to double down. On our show, we argue a lot, Pat, so I just want to double down on that. Make sure the fans heard.
Hey, Pat,
okay, just make sure he heard what he said.
Yeah. I was giving him the business, by the way, but he don't want to talk about that. Hey, Patrick, you were 6'9". You're 6'9".
Yeah. Explain,
is there a difference in that? You're driving a damn car right now. You're going through and you're saying, fuck everything, I'm doing my life. Woo! Like, is it harder as being a taller person? You would never know by being a shorter person, but in this space that you're having to deal with, is it a harder transition? Do you? Well,
that's not necessarily true. That's not necessarily true. I've been both of y'all's heights in my lifetime at one point.
Hey, you talking like you skipped over us. Like you went from 5'4" to 6'7".
Yeah. No, but I'm just saying, like, now that you got to deal with this trial and tribulation, though. Like, we're all God-fearing men. Like, is it a difference in your opinion, or you're like, fuck, it doesn't matter?
In terms of just like, it's that absolutely is different. It's 1,000% different. It's just accepting that different isn't bad. Different might be harder, but there's no such thing as comfortable growth. Like you have to find a way in the discomfort and the figuring it out. Like when any of us, we start something new, we start boxing, we're gonna suck when we first start. You give it 6 weeks, give it 6 months. Like you're gonna look. I mean, might think you might start believing you can actually beat somebody in the ring. You might start actually believe you could probably survive a street fight, but not in the ring. All right,
no
don't
doubt.
get no ideas, guys. All right.
No doubt, man. I love it, man. I love the spirit. Because Smitty played D1 football at 5'8", 285. So like
5'8", 285. Holy.
I'm 5'11 and a half, 6 foot with cleats on, 275 pure muscle, solid. You can check me out on YouTube.
275.
Solid though, pure. Ball
5'8".
State, baby, chirp.
How much did you eat every day?
Oh, we ate a lot. I mean, we burned so many calories per day though with football practice, being out there on that field. We didn't. I got out the mud. We didn't have no indoor. I played in the MAC. We didn't have all the Florida facility. We didn't have all that. I'm at Ball State, baby. Outside.
Hey, Pat, see how you be taking shots, Pat? See how you be taking shots? Talking about Florida facility. I was at Ball State. Hey, that's a you problem, homie.
I'm messing with you, man. Nah, we ate a lot.
Bro.
We ate a lot.
Hey, Pat.
Yeah, I'm just thinking to maintain that weight, man. Like, dang, you had to be throwing down 5,000 calories a day.
No, for sure. Yeah, exactly that. And our strength coach would preach, carb up. It was days when I first got the Ball State, I was like 255, so I was on weight gain. So every time we got done lifting weights, my coach would give me like a triple stack peanut butter and jelly sandwich and a muscle milkshake. I had to finish that before I left the facility. It was like process. Yeah, it was process.
I love I love that accountability though, because it was plenty of times you was like, dang, I don't feel like eating this joint today.
Yeah, but I had to get on that field.
I had to.
Paid off.
Hey, Pat, you was put together, dog. You was out there looking lean and mean, looking like Amari Stoudemire and shit. You wasn't no 200-pounder though.
I was about my best weight is probably 245, 250.
Yeah, I'm about to say. Yeah.
But I'm 6'9", but my best playing weight was right at 245. I felt like that, like how bodybuilders cut and all that stuff. I feel like that was my perfect cut weight. Like I could still handle myself. I can move well.
Yeah.
Still felt strong. Still felt fast. Yeah.
The more I look at the picture, you were kind of similarly built the way I was, even though I was shorter. I wish we had a side-by-side of me, Bailey, from that squat video. That we could put
you had to be like at 285 or 270. You had to be cut up.
Yeah,
Patrick, it's not even close. Patrick, it's not even close, Patrick.
I might have a producer get a screenshot of my squat video and put it side by side before you leave, so you get that full visual. It was similar.
Hey,
I wasn't a big squat guy, so you got that one.
Hoopers ain't no squat guys, dog. Let's keep it real.
You don't need to be.
Hooper, you don't need to be. Hey, Patrick, you were on some great teams in Florida. How's this team compare right now in the Final Four? How's it compare to your teams? And this one seed right here, because you had some dogs that played with you. How's this team similar? I know the backcourt, these two guys, and I know the point guard who could be the best in college basketball was a football guy.
Yeah.
How comparable is this team?
I like that two guys have football experience, and even Condon, it's a different type of football. Australian rules football. I don't know what that all means, but those guys, that toughness and mentality and contact-oriented football players have mindset. Those guys have that, but I got to give them the edge just on depth alone. Like we didn't have a front court or a back court that was that. Like I think we were a better defense than this team, but man, they can score the ball on spurts, can't they? And they can give it to you from anywhere. And shoot, Micah Handlogden or Ruben Chinyelu or Thomas, like any of those guys could end up having a really solid game that just kills you, whether they start impacting the offensive glass. Ruben does a great job getting deep position. Micah Handlogden, how many shots does he affect at the rim on the defensive side? That kid, he came in back into this season and like immediately knew his role. Isn't that all? Because sometimes you're like thinking, man, it's gonna take him some time. Nah, oh boy, Micah immediately knew what his role was. Like those growing pains of him he's just trying to figure it out. Nah, I'm gonna get on this glass. I'm gonna protect this rim.
Hey, that says a lot now, especially now when all of us actually didn't play in this NIL era. In this NIL era where you can transfer anywhere, it seems like, and the portal's actually open right now during the Final Four, which is crazy. These cats usually, if they don't like their role, they could bounce. So that's saying a lot now, right, with this type of guy. Yeah.
Well, that's why it's such a blessing that, and what Coach Golden has said this year, they just want guys that want to be Gators. Like that love for the program, dream school type thing, like, it's good to know that still exists. Because I was pretty pessimistic and negative, like, man, it's going to only be about the money. Like, could you imagine, a coach is recruiting a player, developing a relationship, and they're hung up on money versus saying, like, if I'm the coach, I'm like, hey, but, like, do you want to play for me?
Right.
With me.
No doubt.
I think that's, whenever in any part of life we put money before relationships and before people, I think we're missing the mark.
I agree with that 100%, man. And to that point, I'm glad you were talking about it real quick. I guess, like, how do you feel about the era today, just in general? Like, do you think the NIL era has, like, hurt the game overall?
I don't think there's, one thing that I'll bring up I'm glad you bring it up. An example, like, who was there a Cinderella team?
No.
This year?
No.
I guess McNeese won the first round, I guess, and
they won their first game. Was there a Cinderella team? Was there a Cinderella team on the women's side? Really? Almost all ones.
No, they got blown out, bro. Bad. I brought it up.
So that's what I necessarily. That's a double-edged sword. Like, these smaller programs that have a stud hidden in the rough, like what's the name? Amari Williams, who's at Drexel for 4 years. Yeah. At Drexel. What the heck? And that kid, countless examples you can find there, but it's amazing that these guys can get a shot to play for a bigger team right away. But it also sucks for these smaller schools that they're not going to be able to build anything. Their players are getting poached. Like Chaz Lanier, he got poached, and he was a third-year guy. Like, he was later into his career. So it really doesn't matter. If you have a good season and you're at a smaller mid-major program, like, all it takes is one good year for you to get up out of there and to play at a big program right away.
I'm curious because, like, yesterday we saw Sacramento State, basically FCS when we played. Now they're whatever, the group of five or whatever, basically has petitioned to go be an FBS school, and, like, the smaller schools now have to either keep up with the Joneses, or I don't know if there's an absolute certainty that these teams resource-wise can hang.
Do you think they can commit? I mean, they can compete?
No,
in a conference?
No, but if they stay FCS, I think they're dead man walking as far as a football program, because, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can get some people in California. I believe California football-wise has some of the greatest talent overall because of our numbers. And I don't know if and I think Sacramento State can go get, to your point, some big-time players. And then if they're not in the FBS level, though, they're just kind of – nobody's going to go to FCS school. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right. Yeah.
I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be an interesting issue. You either got to go down to D2 or go up to D1. And I just think the mid-major is my point. The mid-major is dead, Pat. I think the mid-major is being killed right now in front of our very eyes.
Bro, it's slowly but surely. Because, I mean, it's going to happen. There's going to, I don't know if within the next 5 years, but a super league. We're going to just have one major 50-team super league and follow the NFL model. Maybe not 50 teams. I don't know, but yeah. Why not follow the NFL model?
Nah, I know. That's what they're going to have to do.
They got it. I guess the only issue is in the grand comparison there, is there a union for the players in college? Is there going to be one for that?
Yeah, we've been bringing that up. I know you covered the SEC, and I got to ask you before you leave. I got to ask you, since you covered the SEC and you do all and report on it. Let me ask you, last second shot, Cooper Flag or Clayton?
Clayton. Oh my gosh. Last second shot. How much evidence do you need, my guy? Are we watching the same basketball team? Like,
that's the big shot guy in the tournament, huh?
Yeah.
How much evidence do we need? Duke been blowing out.
Did you see that shot? That's true. Did you see that shot Clayton hit at the end of the game? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, he big time.
He was going backwards.
Hey, that's something that can get him over the top, man, in my opinion. Now, listen, they already played Auburn in Auburn and beat them. Is there going to be a different Bruce Pearl-led team out here today or this weekend that's going to say we're going to do some different things here to counter that game that we beat y'all in?
You know, they're not going to change too much of their style of play or anything like that, but they will for sure. They've made it clear they're going to get the ball to Janai Broome. If he's not going to be 100%. The bigs for the Gators, they were getting destroyed in the low post against Texas Tech, so they're going to have to play better defensive-wise. You know, Janai is really the only guy, but Janai is their best passer, their best playmaker, their best decision-maker, the best finisher, he's the most consistent guy. That's why he's in the conversation for Player of the Year. I love that. You know, the actual guys that are, you know, fighting for Player of the Year accolades are in the Final Four and potentially can match up against each other. I love that. It's not always the case. But, man, it almost seems really like Auburn is the team of destiny. Yeah. I don't know why. I hate to say that, but for some reason, because Bruce he's had more talented teams that have not gone this far. And, man, I don't know. There's just something about this Auburn team that it's in the freshman. That kid's a high Pettiford. Man.
Hey, Smitty. So what's he saying, dog?
That's what it sounds like. It sounds like.
Hey, what's going
on? It's like you're going against your alma mater. Right?
I'm not going against them. I'm just saying that's just.
I told you earlier, I'm a good reader of people, and I'm reading you right now. It sounds like a lot of technical tests you saying Auburn gonna win this game. You just don't want to say it.
Uh-oh. We lost his voice.
I got a call or text.
Where'd he go?
It's doing a little better. It's still down 1,200.
Lost him. Man, great guest, man. Great. Let's see if he pops back in real quick to wrap it up.
Hello?
Yeah, we got you enough. We got you enough. It's like muffled for some reason.
He can't hear us, I don't think.
Oh, he can't?
Nah, he can't.
Hey, man, we appreciate you, brother. We appreciate you, man. We'll holler at you.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, he got us back.
That was strange. Hey. Yeah, the audio just stopped going. I don't know what happened there, but
real. Sometimes the show
got a
gets
call
too real.
or a text or something. Yeah, it's all
show gets too real sometimes. Hey, we can't thank you. Oh, the Gators, the Gator boys. He showed the Gator boys hands. Yeah. Drop the mic on you, Smitty.
I hear you. We gonna see.
Auburn might be destiny. I don't know, man. I want the Gators in there so bad. But both of these coaches are great. But it's how crazy is it that Ty Golden, he's going against his mentor.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And his best friend's the associate head coach. That's so crazy.
Yeah,
what a better story.
Interesting. Hey, man, I can't thank you enough, Pat. Man, I wish you the best success, man. Keep the optimistic mindset and keep being a dog. Keep being a dog, man. I love it.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you for the time.
Always. We'll do it again, man.
Have a good one.
Bye, brother.
Right,
later. Shout out, man.
P Young, man.
That's why we get real guests. We get real guests, Smitty. We don't get the flamboyant.
Gazy, nah.
We get real guests, homie.
Both of our guests dropped gems. They both dropped quote of the days and contrary to belief. So make sure if you came on late, you go back to the full episode and you watch those interviews, man. There's gonna be a lot of gems from our OG Leonard Marshall and obviously Pat Young, man. So it's been a incredible show.
Always Steve Kim drops gems. So
that's the norm. We don't even gonna talk about that.
Yeah, you don't talk about that. But Otani, shout out to Young. He's going to get it. His bets will be out there today. You guys can go find Otani's bets. on BetUS. So head on over there today.
Man. None of y'all sent the $5 over, but we appreciate the thought.
Hey, Smitty, you think Ohtani, like, before he gets out there is like drops like $100,000 on him hitting a home run? I think he drops like $100,000 on himself, homie.
My signal acting weird. I don't think Ohtani bets at all. I believe in Shohei Ohtani.
Your internet connection is horrible.
Yes, you was freezing up on my side too. It's weird, homie.
Really?
Yeah. My computer knows that it's a 3-hour show, so when it starts to go over 9, it starts to act a little weird. That's it.
Free Game Friday tomorrow, man. We got some more guests lined up, and we're gonna take some callers tomorrow for Joe Accords of the world.
Joe want to call in so bad to defend himself about that weather.
Hey, Smitty, real quick, how'd those torpedo bats work out for the Yankees yesterday?
They didn't use them yesterday. And we saw the results, homie.
So they just said fuck it. But they put them away.
Because they saw all the talking and they see that they're about to ban them anyway. So coach was like, hey, we're going to use normal bats again because we don't want the guys getting comfortable using the torpedo bats. And then the league bans them. Now we got to reset and retrain how to go back to regular. So they didn't use them yesterday and we saw the results, homie. Proves my point. Thank you.
They absolutely used them yesterday. I saw them. I watched it specifically, and I saw all the torpedo bats being used except for Aaron Judge. So, did Ohtani use a torpedo bat?
He never needed one. He's the greatest.
The
greatest we've ever seen.
So you don't need a torpedo bat. That's
you don't need it, but it helps people who are not the heavy hitters, homie. The heavy hitters, the Aaron Judge of the world, the Shohei Ohtani's, the Mookie Betts, they don't need it. But the average hitters, when they use it, it makes them above average. It's a clear advantage. They're not doing it for no reason, homie. You're making a bigger hitting surface. It's common sense. You're making the part that hits the ball bigger. Balls.
Like how Chad Johnson, he got a torpedo edition sex change.
Oh, I'm not speaking on other man's jewels, homie. That's your air.
No, he said it.
I know, but I'm not speaking on it. He can say what he wants about his stuff.
I gave torpedo bat to AE yesterday. But that's a whole nother conversation. Let's dive into
nothing. The show's over, y'all. Make sure you send in money. Make sure you subscribe, become a member. Shout out to BetUS TV, the #1 betting source platform of any platform out there, man. Make sure you tap into BetUS TV. They got content on there too, by the way, man. So that's a whole nother little spin on what's going on. Shout out to them. And I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. That's all I got.
Joe Cord, right now, give me the weather for the weekend for the yacht. Right now, I need to know. Long Beach, California, give me the weather right now. Go. You got 1 minute, or you're not calling in tomorrow. And it better be dead balls out accurate. Like, it better not have a fucking. If it's 6 mile an hour wind, south, north, southwest, it better be fucking 6 mile an hour wind, north, southwest. It better not be 7, homie. Better not give me a swell that I'm not accustomed to and ready for. Because Smitty's gonna come out and get on the fucking jet ski. We're gonna make content. He's gonna flip off and do some shit. I got you some shoes on me too, by the way, for the yacht.
For the yacht, okay, cool.
I mean, for the jet ski.
You said it, fruity and slip up. I'll wear it for the yacht.
He said 70s, 80s. I already knew that though. That's easy. 70s, 80/80. That's not a specific, homie. I could have said that.
He said win 6 to 11, and he says C's 1 to 2 max.
Well, I could say that.
I don't know what that means. C's.
I could Google that. So anyway, man, shout out. Check me out right after this on Unpaved with Shaun Salisbury over on Rumble. We'll be over there on Rumble, and
Jay be doing like 10 hours of content a day on me. He go from 4 hours on this show, Unpaid. He go to an hour. Then he go home. He go on the phone with Matt Barr for an hour.
Shaun is one of the most long-winded motherfuckers I've ever known. Yeah. So let's get out here in 30 today. Then it was an hour and a half later. An hour.
You the same way on this show. And then he got the LA show with Bailey. They brought that back. Then he gonna be a guest on Bailey's show. And then he gonna do his cooking content.
Well, we're content creators, homie. That's what we do.
You're a content creator with 10 hours a day, homie. Shout out to you.
That's all you do. That's all you do. You doing sauces. By the way, your sauces video, on Instagram, horrific. Your Five Guys take over In-N-Out, the worst take maybe I've ever seen.
That's factual, homie. It's
factual. Actually proven that Midwest food is garbage.
Five Guys better In-N-Out. That's a fact.
It's
Fries
not,
are better, burgers better.
Not a fact. It's not a fact.
Fries
homie.
better and burgers better.
We got to save this for Free Game Friday.
Let's do it.
We're going to save all your videos for Free Game Friday. The whole show might be just your Instagram videos. Traffic, sauces. The sauces are horrific, homie. Like, those are the regular ranch and mayonnaise is better than those.
Ooh, that's some white people shit right there, mayonnaise.
Yeah, I'm just saying, though. But we're going to dive into it. Pound that like, subscribe, become a member if you're not one, man. Appreciate you. We will be tomorrow. Go check Bailey's show out today, as he'll be doing a part of a Colorado. He'll have Philip Dukes on, joining him. And
people gonna be mad at that one. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna leave it at that.
Who?
Just people, haters.
Who's gonna be
make
mad?
sure y'all tune in to Bailey, check out him, support him, and we'll see you tomorrow, man. Big Smitty, JB.
Peace.